All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new here. Appreciate you guys joining me today. Appreciate you waiting patiently, as always, for the intro to finish up there. Hope everybody's doing well on this Monday. We have a couple of interesting things to talk about today. One thing in particular that seemingly just came out of nowhere that a lot of people are starting to pick up on has to do with a new Batman game that is apparently beginning development. No way. PS Gamer, you got to be trolling me. You know what? I should go check that out. Hold on. Because that has literally happened before. I don't believe you, but okay. You got me. You got me, PS Gamer. I legitimately was like, I'm going to have to change my thumbnail and title, aren't I? Okay. Throwing me off. Damn you, PS Gamer. But yeah, apparently there is a new Batman game in development, and the current rumor is that Sony is trying to lock it down as an exclusive. Have I looked into a game, Legendary Tales? No, I haven't heard of this. Legendary Tales. What game is this? Is it like an action RPG? Oh, is this like is this a VR game? I know that there's like that Batman VR game that we were just talking about. It's like exclusive to the MetaQuest. Sony's about to get revenge. No, yeah, this is the first time. I may have seen this game previously, but I've been seeing a few different VR games kind of pop up. I don't know though. I still don't know if I'm quite ready to dive back in yet. Waylark with the super chat says, anything from Rocksteady is a hard pass for me after Arkham Knight and Suicide Squad, a studio that has proven it's lost its quality. It's a risk for Sony giving them money. I think that's completely fair, Waylark, especially after Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. I think that's completely fair. But I'll give my thoughts on it once we go over the information. A lot of people are asking if it's Rocksteady that's making this new Batman game. Reportedly, yes, it is. Apparently, they're going back to Batman, but there's also kind of the concern where it's like, you know, do they still have the same talent? You know, it's kind of like what Waylark is bringing up here. Did they lose a lot of their development talent? But yeah, on top of there being a new Batman game in development, apparently Sony is trying to lock down exclusivity for this game, which is interesting because, I mean, Sony already has like Spider-Man and Wolverine exclusively. If they could get Batman exclusively, that's a lot. At that point, that's a lot. But I have to imagine Sony, in order to lock down a game like Batman exclusively, they would have to pay a lot of money. That's not going to come cheap. And I'm sure it's something that Sony would have to think about, you know? KZ7, you're saying, hey, MBG, no state of play tomorrow? Well, we do have an update. That's another topic we're going to talk about. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll kick off with that topic. I don't know. We already started talking about Batman. But so the last thing we heard was Jeff Grubb said that it's pretty much guaranteed it's happening on the 24th. Well, today's the 23rd. And so there's still plenty of time left in the day. Like, it could be announced today. But apparently it's looking like it's actually going to be Thursday, which makes more sense to me because, like, it's not, I don't know, how many times has Sony really done a state of play on a Tuesday? I mean, I'm sure they have, but I think more traditionally they do them on Thursdays. So apparently we are for sure getting a state of play this week. but it seems like maybe it's happening on Thursday. And I was thinking about this. I wonder if it got delayed by a couple days. And the reason why I'm thinking this is because apparently Pal World was supposed to get announced for PlayStation, and Nintendo coming out and announcing that they're suing, or they're gonna take them to court. Apparently that kind of threw a wrench in everything and the plans, because Pal World was listed to be part of PlayStation's booth apparently at TGS, and then it was like suddenly removed. So yeah, TGS is Thursday. I mean, I don't know. I guess Sony still could do it Thursday. That's true. It does. TGS does kick off on Thursday. Cypherpunk says, wouldn't it be exclusive anyway since no one buys Xbox? Damn. Cypherpunk coming in with the suplex. I mean, it's true. People are basically not buying Xboxes. So what I imagine is that Sony has quite a bit of leverage here, where, I mean, I don't know what these negotiations look like, but I imagine that Sony can basically just kind of point to the Xbox side things and be like, they're not, games don't sell that well over there. Their console is barely selling. It's stagnating, they're conditioning people to not buy their games. Like, I feel like, I don't know if these are things that Sony actually says in their negotiations, but what Sony can do is point to their platform and say, here's how well our console's selling. Here's how many console sales we expect to have, by the time your game is ready to come out. Although I will say something that's kind of interesting about this particular rumor about this Batman game and Sony trying to lock it down as an exclusive is that, I mean, it's clearly going to be a next generation game, right? Rocksteady just finished Suicide Squad, and they had to have a bunch of layoffs, and it lost Warner Brothers a ton of money. So you have to imagine they haven't even really begun development on this. They probably, honestly, for the last like 6 to 8 months, they've probably just been restructuring the studio and trying to figure out what they want to do next. And it seems like maybe it's been decided that we're going to go back to Batman, which makes a lot of sense. They're kind of at a point where it's like, we need something that will get us back, to get us away from the edge, I guess. But we're going to dive deeper into these topics, guys. We are also going to be talking a little bit about Resident Evil 9 once again, because we have a bit of an update on that rumor. But before really quick, okay, you're saying, how would it be a benefit to pay for exclusivity if PlayStation has no competition? Yeah, I mean, that's the thing here. I'm not entirely sure that Sony would try to lock it down as an exclusive, because if you look at the way Sony's been handling their relationship with Warner Brother Games thus far, essentially what they've been doing is marketing the crap out of their games. Like, I look to something like Hogwarts Legacy. Hogwarts Legacy released on the Xbox consoles, but Sony marketed it just all over the place. PlayStation marketing was all over that game. They even locked down like an exclusive mission. And I really do wonder how much it would have mattered if Sony, if they paid for something like Hogwarts Legacy to be exclusive. So there is that kind of angle, right? And I'm just more inclined to think that, I don't know, Sony does seem to really want to kill Xbox, I'll be honest with you, because, I mean, we're seeing Sony put games like Lego Horizon Adventures on the Switch. And it's like, so what about that Xbox version? It's like, no. It's like, really? Yeah, no Xbox version for that. Sorry. I mean, there was a rumor earlier this year that Sony was maybe thinking about putting Helldivers 2 on Xbox, and as of right now, there's no sign of that happening. And generally speaking, it just seems like Sony does not want. They clearly are not going to give any of their games to Xbox. And the only reason MLB The Show is on there is because it has to be. And the only reason something like Marathon will end up on there is because it has to be. But if it doesn't have to be, I don't know. I still think that Sony just kind of, I mean, I said previously that it would be unwise of Sony to assume that just because right now nobody's buying Xbox doesn't mean they never will, right? Like, I'm not saying I expect Xbox to come out and have like a complete turnaround with their next generation Xbox and suddenly they're winning everybody back over. But the reality is, like, if Xbox comes out with their next gen console a year before Sony does, and it's got a lot of hype and buzz around it, which, I mean, that sounds unrealistic, but if they basically like recreate the beginning of the 360 days to a certain extent, you know, I think it would be unwise of Sony to just be like, oh, who cares? We're on top. We don't have anything to worry about. And that's why I just kind of think like there is still a chance that Sony's going to try to lock down these games. Oh, boss, come on. Jeez. I think there's still a real chance that Sony, if they see an opportunity to lock down a big game as a timed exclusive, I think they're still going to take that opportunity because it will cost them money, of course. And it is maybe questionable where it's like, well, do they really have that much competition at all? And maybe the answer says no, not really. But from Sony's perspective, it's like they might view it as until Microsoft stops making consoles, we still see them as a potential threat. A potential threat, you know? I don't know. Just maybe one angle to look at it from. And Cypherpunk, you're saying Sony wanting money on exclusivity. They already have market share. Yeah. I don't know. I just feel, I get this feeling that Sony still wants to lock down games, man. I do. I just feel like that's something that Sony feels it has worked for them effectively. And we also have to consider, here's another angle, right? We're talking about Xbox, but let's not forget Nintendo. Let's not forget that a big draw for the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to be third-party games. And I could see that being very influential on Sony, where it's like, okay, maybe our prior focus was to keep these games off of Xbox, but now it's actually maybe more important to maybe try to keep them off Nintendo. That's another thing I think maybe that's worth considering here. I mean, we don't know. We don't know if like this future Batman game, for all we know, it might not target the Nintendo Switch 2. But on the other hand, it might. And so, yeah, I don't know. We could see like a newfound aggression from Sony, where, you know, okay, yeah, maybe Xbox isn't the threat anymore, but maybe now the Switch 2 is the threat, third-party wise. Maybe we could see a battle between Nintendo and Sony for like third-party exclusivity. Not sure. And Waylark, you're saying Sony killed Xbox so they can charge what they want. Maybe. I mean, there's limits to it. It kind of is like when people were asking the question, is the PS5 Pro $700 because Xbox is not competing with Sony in the console space? Kind of. Like, there's a good chance the PS5 Pro could be cheaper. However, this is what people are not considering. Why is it that Xbox isn't putting out a Pro console? Could it be because they realized, oh, we would have to charge way too much for it and we don't think people are going to buy it? Probably. Yeah. It would cost Microsoft quite a bit of money for R&D to get that put together. And then they would probably come to the abrupt realization that, yeah, we can't sell this thing at a loss. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Shadowlink. You're saying maybe they're moving away from selling consoles at a loss. They are. They are. I came across. I wish I would have saved this, but I came across a long explanation that somebody put together explaining like what's going on when it comes to components. Something that I did hear about that I do want to mention now is that the way it usually works, or the way it's worked up until this point, is these component manufacturers, they usually would give companies like Sony and Microsoft a really significant discount for buying in bulk. And that is another reason why Sony and Microsoft could sell these consoles at a lower price and try to subsidize them, is because they would get these major discounts from these component manufacturers because they're buying millions upon millions, of these parts in bulk. But these component manufacturers, they're so in demand, like there's not enough of them. They're all like based in Asia, basically. Because there's so many companies now going to them, these companies don't need to give out discounts anymore. So because they have so much business worldwide, internationally, right, with all these different mega corporations, essentially those days are done, at least for now. And this is why you're seeing different countries, they're trying to create, they're putting a lot of money into creating their own facilities, basically, so they can manufacture these components themselves and not have to rely on the select few that are out there. So this is something that is probably worth keeping in mind, that Sony nor Microsoft are getting discounts anymore, through these places, and so it's going to have an impact on, okay, well, that's money we're not saving anymore. So we now have to pay more for these components than we ever had to. That's going to make the prices either stay the same or go up, But I don't know, man. I think what people maybe need to realize is that if Microsoft released a mid-gen refresh, 99.99% chance it would also be $700. There's a reason why the Xbox price isn't going down, the PlayStation price isn't going down, and as we ask for more power, for more performance, the price is just going up now, and it's not going down, and it just seems like that's going to be the way it is from now on. Maybe it sucks. I mean, it does suck. I mean, I would like to get this stuff cheaper as well, but I guess what I'm trying to say is like Sony and Microsoft don't really have as much control over it as we think they do. I mean, they could take a big risk and say, let's try to subsidize, right? Let's try to make the money back. But we do have to also keep in mind that both of these companies are coming off of periods of mass investment. And especially on the Sony side, it seems like Sony lost a lot of money. I mean, Microsoft, they lost a lot of money too. They lost $69 billion, but they have things like Call of Duty and Game Pass and all the other studios and games that they purchased that there's a chance we could make our money back. That's what we're banking on. On the Sony side of things, it's very obvious that like the money they spent on Bungie, holy shit, you overpaid to a almost a comical degree. And then you look at like Firewalk and Concord and how much money that lost them. And it's just like everything that could work against these consoles in terms of, so can we afford to drop the price? Everything that could work against them is working against them. And therefore we're not seeing any price drops. We're not going to. We have Severin Evans. He says, they can't kill them, MBG. Xbox now owns PlayStation's best-selling franchise in Call of Duty, all of ABK and Bethesda. Not huge alone, but together it's a lot. No, I agree. When people talk about like PlayStation killing Xbox, we're just talking about in the hardware space. And even then, Xbox is not dead. It's a non-competitor at this point. It remains to be seen if Microsoft will become a competitor once again. I'm not opposed to that. I would love to see that. But Microsoft basically bowed out and said, listen, we're just going to do our own thing. We're just going to take what we can get, and we're fine with that. Our priorities lie elsewhere. So you're right. Xbox at Microsoft as a gaming company is more of a partner to Sony at this point than a competitor. That doesn't mean Sony has to reciprocate, but that's just the reality. Yeah, and Black Ops 6 is about to launch, and it's going to clean up on PlayStation. No problem. We have a direct donation as well. Before I read that, though, let me read what subtext is saying here. He says, Jeff Grubb doubled down today, saying a state of play would be this week for sure. Nothing yet. How strange would it be to do PS5 pre-orders before a state of play? Yeah, that's why I was fairly certain as well that, like, when Jeff basically said the 24th, and I think he's correct, by the way. Like, I know he said the 24th, but he said it's happening at the original thing he says it's happening at the end of September. And it seems like Sony kind of does like to do these things at the end of the month anymore. But I do feel like doing a state of play, well, I don't know. I mean, you could kind of see it two ways, right? Where you would think that a state of play is going to be necessary right before pre-orders go live because, well, listen, we need to get people excited. But it's like, do you really, though? Do you really? Or are you going to sell out pre-orders without doing it? Like, the question is, will Sony sell out PS5 Pro pre-orders without a state of play? The answer to that is yes. So I'm not saying that this means they shouldn't do a state of play. I guess what I'm just trying to say is that I don't think Sony's relying on that state of play to get people to pre-order. I think the state of play is just, it's more of a long-term thing or a mid-term thing where it's like, we know we're going to sell out initially. This state of play is not meant to get people to say right now, you know what, I'm sold, I'm going to pre-order one on the 26th. PS Gamer, thank you for that, buddy. I'm going to read that in just a moment. Really appreciate it. But yeah, I would assume, just logically speaking, I don't know why I said it, logically, I don't know what's going on with my voice today. Logically speaking, I would assume that a state of play that's meant to show off PS5 Pro games would occur before the console's up for sale. But again, man, I'm almost wondering if it got delayed last minute because they had to tweak it and remove Power World or replace Power World, put something else in there. Because I'm telling you, I'm pretty much certain that Power World was supposed to be announced during the state of play for PlayStation. And it's supposed to be kind of a big deal. But because Nintendo's suing them, I think it just completely is like, Sony's like, whoa. Hold on now. Maybe it could be tomorrow. Still, I mean, it's still early in the day. Listen, I want to just remind people. I want to remind people. I'm not saying like hang on to this, but just keep it in mind if you're waiting for the state of play announcement. There was this time, I think it was not this year, it was last year. Sony announced a state of play at 6 p.m. Eastern time, which would be about 5.5 hours from now. So pretty late, pretty much in the evening. They announced a state of play for the next day, literally 24 hours later. 24 hours later. So Sony is crazy when it comes to when they want to announce their state of plays, dude. I'm not saying hang on to that. I'm just saying expect anything. And let me read these direct donations from PS Gamer. Thank you for that, buddy. And for anybody wondering how you donate directly, there is a link at the top of the chat. You can leave messages just like you would a super chat, except 100% of what you donate goes directly to the content creator. We have PS Gamer. He says, sorry to be off topic, MBG, but I don't understand the notion that the PC market is the future. Steam's revenue isn't even equal to a third of PSN's. Even when comparing active users, PSN has 4 times as many. Sony is just releasing games on PC that have already sold all they can on PlayStation. The market for handheld users is much larger and makes more sense for Sony. Even Microsoft, with its significant shift towards PC, didn't move the needle. It's an interesting thing to bring up, PS Gamer. Yeah, I will say I don't think people quite fully understand or realize just how much bigger PlayStation is than Steam. Uh, I'm not saying it's better. Don't confuse the two because I'm not here to create like a pissing contest because I know that's what people love to do. It's all about are you saying console's better? No, I'm just saying I'm just simply saying that. Okay, hold on. PS Gamer, bro, the timing. You're telling me the State of Play got announced at 12:30? They announced it. Okay. Alrighty. Guys, they could announce the State of Play at any moment. Literally gets announced. Literally gets announced as soon as I say that. All right, so we're going to go over the State of Play announcement. God, I knew this was going to happen. I knew this was going to happen. PS Gamer, let me finish with your chats, though, okay? I don't want to overlook what you said. I just think a lot of people don't quite realize how much bigger PlayStation is than Steam. And to be fair, like Steam seems to be content. Steam isn't obsessed with constantly growing and getting bigger and bigger and bigger. They're like totally content with, hey, whatever growth we get, we're fine with it. It's sustainable, you know? And I respect that. I really do. I really thoroughly respect that. But Sony and PlayStation, they operate very differently. They're trying to be as big as they possibly can, for better or for worse. And I do think that people, I think what Sony sees is a potentially big install base on PC that they can tap into. But you're right. You talk about the handheld market. The handheld market has proven to be, it's proven to be a pretty big market that I think a lot of companies are now realizing, maybe we should have, maybe we shouldn't have neglected this market so much. And maybe we can thank Nintendo for that at this point. So PS Gamer, I appreciate the direct donations, buddy. All right, I need to. Damn it. All right, let's talk about the State of Play. The State of Play was just announced. Hang tight for 1 second, guys. I'm going to bring it up. So it's happening tomorrow. I'm over on the blog. State of Play returns tomorrow. State of Play broadcast Tuesday, September 24th. So for me, it's going to be 6 p.m., 3 p.m. PDT, 6 p.m. EDT. Watch September 24th on YouTube and Twitch for news and updates from over 20 games. So more than 20 games. Is that a lot? I need somebody help me out. Well, we'll look into it. I want to. So the September or the January State of Play that happened earlier this year, that was 40 minutes long. So I want to know how many games were there. Does it? Wait, do they say how long it is? Oh, the 30-minute show, the 30-minute plus show. Okay. So it's more than 30 minutes. So 35 minutes, give or take. Maybe 40. I'm going to say it's probably like 30, closer to 35 minutes. They say State of Play is back tomorrow, September 24th. Tune in live for news and updates on more than 20 upcoming PS5 and PSVR 2 games from studios around the world. No mention of first party. You're saying they didn't mention if it's third party, though? Well, my guess is it's because Sony first party is there, but not in the way people want. So like they're like if Sony first party is going to be there, they can't explicitly say it won't be. I mean, they can if they want, but they wouldn't say that. Here's what you're going to see from Sony first party tomorrow. Lego Horizon Adventure release date trailer. Horizon Zero Dawn remastered. Days Gone remastered. That's what you're going to see from PlayStation Studios tomorrow. If you go in expecting anything more than that, you're going to be disappointed. Until Dawn, maybe we could see Until Dawn. I mean, it would make sense to maybe throw in a trailer. It is about to release, but if you go in expecting more than that, I think you're going to be let down. Got a couple more direct donations as well and a couple more super chats. Let me see here. This is from Moonshot. Thank you so much, Moonshot. You're saying, I don't want to pre-order the PS5 Pro because I need to see the first-party roadmap and what's to come. After I'm done with Wukong and Astro, that's it for 2024. Want to see more third-party Pro games because I already know first-party will take advantage, but I also do not want the Pro to sell out, and I can get one. Well, I'm going to be honest, Moonshot. I don't think people are going to have a hard time getting the Pro. I don't think. Don't take my word for it. Like, if you're worried about missing out, definitely try to pre-order one. But if I had to guess, I don't think we have to worry about that. I think there's going to be, like, it's going to sell out initially, but I think within the first week or two, like, at least I will say within the first week or two of the PS5 Pro being out, you will be able to buy it. I don't think it's going to be like some crazy, because it, like, let's be honest, man, like it's Sony knows they're going to sell at least a couple million at launch, right? So they're prepared for that. But I don't know, man. I kind of feel, I do understand where you're coming from though. Like, I wouldn't, if I did want to, well, I do want a Pro, and I wouldn't want to be like left out where it's like, damn, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait for more to be restocked. And if is it gonna take like a month, 2 months, 3 months? Hopefully not. I mean, that'd be crazy. But I don't know. I agree with what you're saying though, Moonshot. Like, first party games, we know we're gonna take advantage of the Pro, but we do need to see, I think, a lot of third-party games as well. Like, I do want to see what third-party games are going to look like and how they're going to run on the Pro. Because, let's face it, that's what most people are playing. But also the fact that, you know, these third-party games are usually the ones that struggle at times. So we have Delwyn Jones. He says, really hope this is true. A proper Batman game in the works coming to PlayStation. I used to get hyped for every Batman Arkham game in the series. The Gotham games were great. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get too excited yet, Delwyn, because, again, even if this rumor is true that there's a new Batman game coming from Rocksteady, it's the early days. Like, it's reassuring. I'd say it's okay to get your hype levels up a little bit where it's like, oh, finally. But will it be single player? Will it be, you know, will they try to make it a live service again? So there are things we need to be aware of, and like things that could end up working against it. Zero expectations for another Rocksteady game. I think they have something to prove now, unfortunately. It shouldn't be that way, but that's the way it is. And Moonshot, you got another one here. Another direct donation. I guess it was coming in a trio. Hold on. Let me bring it up here. And you say, Old Sony mentioned we will see, or odd, I don't know why I said old. Odd Sony mentioned we will see PSVR 2 games in this state of play. According to the internet and MBG, Sony abandoned it and is pulling support. Weird way to kill it. I see you, Moonshot. I see you taking your shots. Yeah, I'm happy though, because I honestly I am a little bit surprised. Not entirely, but it does seem like Sony is still planning to support PSVR 2, which is good. It means that there is maybe there was too much fear mongering going around. So the fact that it is going to show up there, I think there's going to be some new VR2 game announcements. To be clear, I don't think they're going to be like major announcements, but I get what you're saying, Josh. Or I'm pretty sure you're Josh, right? Moonshot, Josh. I'm pretty sure I've locked it in. You're the same person. If you're a PSVR 2 owner, I think that's reassuring. We have Waylark. He says Microsoft is putting games from acquired studios on PlayStation to future-proof further acquisitions. Can't be blocked if they can say, look, we put games everywhere. I mean, I think there is something to that, yeah. I do agree. But at the same time, I don't know. I feel like it's actually like when they say we need to make money, I feel like it's more about that than anything. Because I don't know. I get it. I get the idea of Microsoft probably wants to acquire more in the future, and they want to set their sights on more studios and more publishers. But I think right now it's probably more about we really need to get our numbers up. Because if I don't know, man, if the investors start to feel like Microsoft made a bad purchase here, it's not gonna be good for the board members. It's not gonna be good for anybody. Jay Shako says they have a new Metro and Alien games coming soon. Behemoth as well. That's true, Jay Shako. That's true. Yeah, maybe I've been undermining PSVR 2 a little too much. You want a link to the PS blog? Here, I got you. That's the link to the blog. Cypherpunk, you're saying the gaming PC market size was valued at $53 billion in 2023 and is anticipated to exceed $189 billion by 2036. Of course, companies want a piece of that, LOL. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's why when I said, like, when we talk about the install size of the PC market, like, yeah, that's a huge install base. A lot of people or a lot of companies, I would imagine, they're like, yeah, we can make some money off that, right? We can make some money off that. So I agree. I agree, Cypherpunk. It is, as you're saying here, it's anticipated to grow. And just in terms of how much money that specific market can make, it makes sense that every gaming company probably has to pay some attention to PC at this point. And Subtext with a super chat says, I'm not expecting much first party, but they should close the show with one new first party game. I don't think it's much to ask. Where's Ghost 2? It's been 4 damn years without even mentioning its name. I'm in agreement, Subtext. I'm in agreement. I do agree that they should have like one surprise announcement, and I hope they do, because I would prefer to walk away from this state of play tomorrow evening excited and hype and celebrating with you guys and be like, damn, that was great. High fives all around, I would absolutely prefer that. What I wouldn't prefer is fair games closing out the show. No, what I wouldn't prefer is Sony not having any surprises, and the only games they show up with are like a Days Gone and Horizon Remastered. I can accept that because I'm kind of prepared for that to happen, but I'm just not looking forward to everybody's going to be like, man, that State of Play sucked, I'm hoping it's good for me personally, right? Like, where I just hope that I walk away from that show being like, man, I just saw a lot of games I want to play. That's the purpose of the show, as a PlayStation user, I want to tune in and see games that get me excited, like that I want to play. But generally speaking, like I want it to satisfy as many people as possible. I want people to walk away feeling excited and being like, there was something there for everybody, but it's a mixed bag sometimes, We need the roadmap. Yeah, I don't think we're getting the roadmap tomorrow, man. I'm gonna be honest. We have Sean. He says, I would like to see Astrobot get VR. I still haven't picked it up yet and heard it wasn't supported. I was gutted. Maybe Metro VR gameplay tomorrow? Yeah, I think that would actually be a pretty safe bet. I know I kind of forgot that Metro was announced for PSVR 2. So since PSVR 2 will be part of this State of Play, I could see a new trailer showcasing some gameplay. And yeah, it was, I think, disappointing for many PSVR 2 owners to find out that Astrobot was not supported, but maybe in the future, I don't know. Maybe they could do some kind of update, make it compatible with VR2. I'm not sure. Pietrek F says 19 VR games plus Days Gone Remaster. Lock it in. Pietrek coming in with the crazy prediction that 19 of the 20 games are going to be VR games. And then the only non-VR game is going to be Days Gone Remastered. I hope it's true. Omen86 says if Sony keeps Rocksteady alive after Justice by funding the next exclusive game, it's possible Sony's interested in buying the studio for cheap at its lowest point. It's an interesting theory, Omen. I mean, WB Games has expressed interest like numerous times in trying to sell off some of their studios and whatnot. But as of right now, it seems like not much has come of it. So, I don't know, man. I think that... I don't know how Sony's planning on approaching acquisitions from this point forward, because I get the feeling that they're much more hesitant after Bungie and some of their live service studios they picked up. I think they're a little bit hesitant. Maybe Sony at this point feels more comfortable just trying to do these exclusive deals, Omen. But, I mean, yeah, there's no denying that Rocksteady, I mean, they really dropped the ball big time with Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, but I also think that was kind of WB's fault as well for like asking them to make that type of game after coming off of the Arkham single player trilogy. It'll be interesting to see what ends up happening. Waylark, you're saying already a mod to bypass PSN for God of War Ragnarok PC. LOL. Surely Sony's going to do something about that, right? I don't know. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised to hear about that. And Kirby Shaw, thank you so much for the $20 super chat, buddy. You're saying, thinking about installing a 2 terabyte SSD in my base PS5 instead of buying a PS5 Pro. Have you upgraded your SSD? And if so, do you have any recommendations as to which one I should buy? Well, I personally haven't upgraded my SSD because I haven't had to. I don't really buy many games at all digitally. Like occasionally I buy a game digitally, but really not that frequently. And at the same time, I don't have a lot of games installed on my PS5 all at one time. The way I do it is when I'm done with a game or when I feel I'm done with a game, I delete it, especially if I platinum it, you know, and I'm like, okay, I got everything out of it I needed. I delete it. And if I ever want to return to it, I have no problem like reinstalling it. But the recommendations, I mean, I'm seeing people mentioning it in the chat. Devil Shooter says WD Black. I've heard really good things about that. Samsung Pro, Samsung 850, 2 terabyte. I did see that there is I think it's WD. They're selling an 8 terabyte SSD for $1,000. That's compatible with the PlayStation 5. So if you want to go all in, I mean, for $1,000, you could buy a PS5 Pro with that money. So I don't know that I would recommend the $1,000 8 terabyte SSD upgrade, but I think a 2 terabyte upgrade. I don't know how much they go for though anymore. A 2 terabyte. Looks like they go for about like 140. I see the WD Black 2 terabyte is $220 on Best Buy, and quite a few people have recommended that. There's another one here though from Amazon, 160. It is, I don't think this is 2 terabyte. Oh, this actually, yeah, they're so on Amazon for $160. They have a WD Black 2 terabyte SN850p NVMe M.2 SSD, officially licensed storage expansion for PS5 consoles with the heatsink. It says it's 30% off right now on Amazon. So that might be the way to go. But yeah, I haven't upgraded mine because I've never run into any problems with storage yet. If I ever do, I'll upgrade it. Although if I get the Pro, I mean that's going to have 2 terabytes. I'll be set at that point. But Kirby, hopefully that helps, man. You have to let us know which one you end up going with. Somebody's saying absolutely buy with the heatsink included. Okay. Devil Shooter says MBG next storage is Sony's brand of SSD. I didn't know that. Wait, what? That's surprising. Is that real? Why have I never heard of this? I'm looking it up. Are you sure? I don't see anything regarding Sony. Because I don't know. I just would have thought that like Sony would probably market that. When you're saying FireCuda is the elite SSD. Interesting. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Maybe Kirby, you might want to look into a FireCuda. I see people recommending that in the chat. Terrence, yeah, I saw that. Cypherpunk, you're saying would HP or Batman rights come to with buying them? Well, that's why I think nobody has bought any of these studios from WB, right? Kind of getting back to that. If Sony bought Rocksteady, Batman nor Harry Potter would go with them. You know, if Sony bought Rocksteady, they would just be buying the studio and the talent. And Sony would very likely have to license out this stuff. What's worth noting is that WB in their most recent earnings, when talking about gaming, they said they're very much open and willing to license out their games, to license out their IP, I mean. I see people, yeah, I do see a lot of people filing into the chat, letting me know about the state of play. I should probably, I'm going to have to update my, Let me update my title. And I guess I should probably do something with the thumbnail too, because I keep seeing people coming in and they're like, yo, did you know the state of play was announced? I know. Anticipation for Bloodborne and Resident Evil announcements. Dude, why? I need to know right now. Why people think Bloodborne's getting announced tomorrow. Why do people think Bloodborne is showing up tomorrow? It happens every time, dude. Every single time. Resident Evil 9, yeah. But Bloodborne, come on, bro. Bloodborne ain't happening. Bloodborne 3 coming? There you go. Subtext has got it. The Gaming Nating says, all honesty, the only thing I'm excited for is Death Stranding 2. Unless they give us more info on the little devil inside, which I doubt, my expectations are low. And I'd say that's a pretty fair way to go about it. The Gaming Nating. I mean, I'm expecting there to be a new Death Stranding 2 trailer because we are getting a full presentation on the 29th. So show a trailer here and then a full-blown gameplay presentation a couple days later. I'm excited for that. I know not everybody's going to be on board with that, but sign me up. Yeah. Little Devil Inside, I don't think that's showing up. Resident Evil 9 seems bigger than a state of play. Well, let's keep in mind, guys. Keep in mind that Resident Evil 8 was revealed at the Future of Gaming event in 2020, the Sony PlayStation 5 Future of Gaming event. And then Resident Evil 4 Remake was announced at a State of Play. So it seems like Capcom is like they have been and they will remain locked in. Yeah, and Resident Evil 3 as well. Good call out. They're locked in to announcing these games at Sony events. So Starfield PS5 announcement tomorrow. Dude, that would be so funny if a Microsoft game showed up. I'm not expecting that, but it would be funny. If that happens, then I don't want to hear anybody ask why Sony didn't show first party. All right, listen, if like Forza Horizon or some shit gets announced for PlayStation at their event tomorrow, I don't want anybody to say how come Sony didn't show any of their own games. Metal Gear Solid Delta release date, please, yes. Yes. Absolutely. Lock it in. I need it. I need that. We have Captain Hook. He says God of War Ragnarok appears to be disappointing on Steam with less than half of God of War 2018's peak players and reviews are only 67% positive. What happened? Well, PC players will tell you that God of War Ragnarok is failing on PC because of the PlayStation Network requirement. There is now a mod that lets you bypass the PS Network requirement. Has there been an uptick in players since this mod dropped? I do think that the PSN requirement probably stopped some people, but I'm going to be honest, man. People need to like see the forest for the trees here. The days of Sony making a big splash on PC with their games is over. For now, anyway. Like, I don't want to say it's over completely, but unless it's like Bloodborne, unless it's like another Helldivers 2 situation, the novelty is gone. And that was always going to happen. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think it's just a natural situation where when God of War 2018 came to PC, I think people need to realize, like, dude, that was the first time God of War ever made its way to PC. Like, this was a game that people truly believed this is never leaving PlayStation. And then it came to PC. And I think there was just this natural level of like, holy shit, I'm playing God of War on PC. So, that's my opinion anyway. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that that's how I see it. I do, like I said, I do think the PlayStation Network account requirement, I do think that is stopping some people. But if people really think that the difference between 30K players and 75K players is a PlayStation Network account, they don't know what they're talking about. That's not why there's that big of a difference. If you said the difference between 30K and 40 or 45K is 10,000 players that would have played aren't because they don't want a PSN count, maybe. But we're talking about, we're talking about like almost a 40K player difference. People are just, they're not as hyped for it. It's a sequel, Do you think their ports are too far out from release? You're asking, does this move Sony closer to maybe abandoning them? Well, that's kind of the question here, right? I don't know that we can determine if Ragnarok is a failure on PC. The reason why I say that is because I don't know. Do you know what Sony's internal expectations were for this? I don't. Do they look at 30K and I don't know. How many sales does 30K equate to, roughly? I don't even know. Was Sony expecting just as many sales as God of War 2018? Were they expecting more? I feel like it's impossible for us to determine this if we don't know what Sony's expectations are. And that's why I don't know that I can... I wish I could tell you, like, does this mean... You're saying if their expectations are that low, why even bother? Well, I don't know, man. I guess it's just... It's a matter of, like... I guess maybe you'd have to view it like this. If God of War Ragnarok makes Sony... I don't know. If it makes them just, like, $20 million or something... If you're Sony, like, that's not a massive amount of sales, but that's $20 million. You know? Well, actually, you know what? 20 million might be way too high. 20 million might be way too high. Let's say 10 million. Can you explain with a cake analogy? Yes, I can, Mr. Bills. Here's the analogy. If you're Sony and you got this cake, right? This cake's it's a full cake. You got the whole cake, you got the icing, you got the cherry on top. No problem. It's not the biggest cake in the world, but it's pretty big. It's more than enough. But then you get this like kind of micro cake that comes in. This small cake. It looks the same, right? It looks almost exactly the same as your regular cake, but it's just really, really small. It's like almost like bite size. And of course, the first thing you think is, well, that's not as good. That's not the same as my full cake here. You know, I'm a grown man here. Sony's a grown man. I need a full cake. Yeah, like a cupcake. There you go. I knew there was a word for that. Or a pancake. No. Yeah, it's basically like a cupcake. There you go. This is why I rely on my chat to help me with these analogies. You got a regular cake, and then you got your cupcake. And if you're Sony, is that cupcake really doing much? No, it's not. It's not doing much. But does it hurt? No, probably not. So just take the cupcake, man. That's all I'm saying. People just tuning in, they're like, bro, what the hell is... We're doing a God of War Ragnarok PC analogy using cakes. Mr. Bills requested it. Cake does sound good right now, though, doesn't it? Mr. Bill says thank you very much. You know what I love most? Mr. Bills, I have to tell you, the only reason I'm I made this happen for you is because I like the fact, I like your profile picture, the one of Patrick Starr. And I just feel like it's like Patrick asking me, you know? Like, I can't ignore that. But yeah, I mean, in all seriousness, I think it's just because Sony has they have a dedicated studio for PC ports. And I think that it's just a matter of, this is just in the name of extracting as much extra money as possible. And even though it might not be a lot, it's like certainly nowhere near. God of War Ragnarok on PC didn't make anywhere near the amount of money that this game made for Sony back in 2022 when it launched for PlayStation 5. But that's not the point. The point is, did it make us some money? Yes, it made you some money. Okay. That's money we'll put in our pocket. That's money that we can turn to investors and say, we're making more money on these games. We're not making the most, but we're making more. Now, to answer the question, does this make Sony inch closer to day and date for their single player games, or walk it back? I mean, you have to think about it from the shareholder's perspective, right? If you're a shareholder and Sony turns to you and says, well, the games we're releasing on PC are not doing that well. Like God of War Ragnarok didn't make that much money. So we're questioning if we want to proceed with this. You know what the shareholder's going to do? The shareholder's going to say, but you launched Helldivers 2 day and date, and look at how many sales that made on PC. And obviously, we know that there's a difference between launching a single-player game day and date on PC and a multiplayer game that catches fire like Helldivers 2. But the shareholder doesn't know that, nor do they care. The shareholder's just going to see, Sony, you launched this game day and date, and it made us a shit ton of money, and it got amazing sales. You should do this to all your games. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I think their games, their single-player games in particular, if they don't show signs of doing that well after a year or 2 years and then releasing them, and it's like, yeah, you're really not making much money this way, I actually think that kind of suggests to the shareholders, not Sony themselves, but at least to the shareholders, like, you guys should start going day and date. Like, that's why you're not getting the sales. Like, you got to release it at the same time. And I feel like Sony's kind of in this awkward position where, I don't know, man. It's just weird because we see a game like Ghost of Tsushima and that did really well, but then Ragnarok seemingly doesn't do that well, and then it's just kind of like, But I don't imagine, like, I know that there are some people who think that Sony's just going to walk away from PC, and I'm going to be honest with you guys, you need to get that thought out of your head. I don't mean to be the bearer of like bad news for some people, but that's not going to happen. Like, Sony would piss off a lot of shareholders if they did that. They would piss off a lot of shareholders because you have to understand, like, the shareholder mindset. I'm not saying, I mean, there probably are certain shareholders that are educated, but some of them just really don't know how this works, and they don't understand, like, why Sony might want to back away from the PC market if they feel as though it's not really working out for them. But I don't know, man. It's a balancing act for Sony. That's what I'm trying to say. They have to consider what, their own experience, what they know. But review the leaks for tomorrow. Wait, did stuff leak out? Well, hold on. I want to make sure I catch up on these super chats. I've been talking too long on this one topic. We'll see what happens with the PC side of things. I just don't think Sony's going to walk away from it. Saying PC players don't play Sony games. These are all double dippers. I don't believe that. No, I think there are some PC players where, they do wait, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's probably going to be another PC port announced tomorrow. Probably The Last of Us Part 2. There you go. Jason Bourne says, I spent 1K on a 4 terabyte SSD from Firecuda when they first came out. LOL. I'll buy an 8 terabyte for the PlayStation 6. There you go. Jason Bourne going all in, bro, on the expensive SSDs. He doesn't care. He's like, give it to me. Good stuff, man. Kareem Ali says, hi, MBG. I have to be honest. I don't trust Rocksteady after Suicide Squad. They're just a company full of activists now. I won't trust them to make a good game with storytelling like Batman again. I know it's petty. No, I don't think it's petty. I don't think it's petty. Yeah, no, you're right, dude. Like, I saw some of the stuff they're doing, and this is, in my opinion, what's wrong with some of the gaming industry, where it's like, what are you guys doing? Please stop making games for yourselves. Please make games for the fans. Please make games for people who are actually, the market that's going to go out and buy and support them. It's a freaking Batman game. It's a freaking Arkham Universe game. Like, please. And I don't, listen, if the studio is filled with activists, whatever, be an activist, but just make a good game. Don't put your activist BS into the game. Just make a game that is going to speak to the audience that you're trying to target, And I'm going to try really hard not to go on a rant right now, because apparently people are saying the state of play leaked, and I'm going to go check this out. But I just want to say that, when are these, how much more has to happen for these, until these companies wake up and start to realize that the people you are letting run this shit are just losing you money. And they're losing you money because they are alienating the people who would gladly give you their money and support your product if you just actually made a good product and didn't try to cram activist bullshit into it. I'm seeing what's happening with Dragon Age Veilguard or whatever, and I'm like, Jesus, dude, if I was EA, I would be like, I would just be so upset, because it's just like, oh my God, we just let these people make a game for them. And to me, that's the problem. That's the problem. Where it's like, if you're taking products, like we're talking about Batman, we're talking about the DC universe, it's like, listen, I don't mind a little bit here and there. I don't think anybody does. I'm not trying to say that having any type of inclusivity or diversity, that's not really the problem. The problem is when you get people who are narcissistic and they just can't not make it but no, it's got to be about me. And I guess us, but only if you fully agree with me. And these are the people that have been in charge of these projects and running the ships. And it's like, I've said it before, I'll say it again. These people need to get the fuck out, and we need to replace them with actual adults who understand that we need a balance here. So that way we can appeal to a wider market. If you were talking about a product like Batman, like a product that's meant to appeal to a wider market in a more mature way, that's how you can maybe find some success. But if you keep going down this path that you're going down, you're just asking, you're going to lose, you're going to cost people their jobs. Because the executives, I don't know, man, the executives just seem to greenlight anything that just sounds good anymore, right? Anyway, I've been seeing a lot of stuff about this Dragon Age Veilguard thing, bro, and I'm just like, but I see other stuff too, where I'm like, it's too much. It's too much. Where on the other side of it, did you guys see that post of Lara Croft? And somebody was like, bro, they gave her DEI chin. And I'm looking at this picture of Lara Croft, and I'm like, what the fuck what are you talking about? She looks good. What are you talking about? And it scares me. That's the shit that scares me, because it's like, oh my God, all these extremists, bro, they're all the same. It's just like, you share the same mental illness, but you're just deciding, are you on the blue side or the red side, essentially? And I'm just like, come on, bro. This is why I'm saying we need mature adults that know how to cut through the bullshit, man. Too many people saying pull the picture up. Maybe I will in a little bit. You can go, I mean, it's, I looked at it, I'm like, dude, DEI chin. But you know what? To be fair though, the picture, if you saw it, and maybe I'll bring it up in a little bit, but if you saw it, it's like, I almost feel like, I don't know, man. I almost feel like people, maybe it was a troll or something. Cause I'm like, dude, she doesn't look bad at all. Like, it looks perfectly fine. Show the pic. I don't want to get too far off because I know apparently the state of play leaked. Let me see. Oh, I got to be really careful. I just typed in Lara Croft and there's automatically some inappropriate stuff. Why can't I find it? Oh, here we go. Wait, is this it? Yeah, I think this is it. I think this is the image that everybody was freaking out about. Unless, oh, wait, hold on. Okay. I just came across something else. Maybe this is kind of what people were referencing. Netflix, they masculinized, Jesus, if I could say it, Lara Croft with a wider, more squared off chin, more pronounced brow ridge, and squared off forehead. I'm sorry. It's just hard not to laugh because it's just like, I don't know what's happening anymore, man. You know, guys, I found this drawing of like somebody that basically made Lara Croft Peter Griffin, and I was legitimately going to bring it up. And say, guys, this is the picture. There's nothing wrong with it, bro. But then I would have said I'm joking, but then everybody would be like, no, dude, that is the real picture. I'll see if I can bring it up real quick. So I came across another picture, and I think this might be the one that people were talking about. I'll just show you this. I'll read these super chats, and we'll go check out the leak. Hold on. Hopefully it lets me bring the picture up. Sometimes it... Well... Sorry, guys. It's not going to let me bring the fucking pictures up. Maybe I can do something else. Hold on. DEI chin. Uh-oh. I see you guys talking about... Hold on. I gotta be so careful about this. All right. This seems good enough. I'll bring it up right through Twitter, and then we'll talk about the leak. I just have to be careful because I don't want to. So really quick before I bring it up, who is here? Who is here during the Blue Box days? Does anybody remember that one time I was streaming? I think it was like at night, and we were like searching Twitter for like Blue Box stuff, and somebody posted on my timeline, like, I can't even describe what they posted. It was so inappropriate, but I just basically scrolled down it and like everybody saw it. And I like basically had to take the stream down. Does anybody remember this? Like, I genuinely wonder how many people are still here, but that was crazy, dude. That was the day I learned you can't just mindlessly scroll Twitter on stream, man. And that was before Elon bought it out. All right, let me All right, so this is the picture I came across. All right. where somebody quote tweeted this and they said they gave her DEI chin. And I saw this, I'm like, bro, she looks fine. There is, like, I don't see there's nothing off-putting. She looks fine. It looks like Lara Croft. However, I think what people were talking about is this below it, which I didn't know that there was I didn't even know that there was like a Netflix anime. And yeah, I like in this instance, it's like I can see what they're talking about, where it's like, yeah, it's a bit much there. You know? It's not that bad. Like, I think people are overreacting a bit, where it's like, oh my God, that hideous beast. What is that thing? Like, okay, it's not that serious, but I can kind of understand how, if you're comparing it to like previous incarnations as is being done here. I don't even, who is this? Melanie Mac? I don't know who that is. And then we got Angelina Jolie, the original Lara Croft. Anybody say, dude, I'll be honest, like sometimes I forget, oh yeah, there were Tomb Raider movies starring Angelina Jolie. But this here, like with, I guess, I don't know if this is like a statue or something. I'm like, this looks fine. Like, that's totally fine. I don't see a problem here. But anyway, on to more important matters here. Let me get out of here. We have Josh. He says, every time VR2 is mentioned for State of Play, I gotta be here with the salt, MBG. You know I gotta do it, LOL. The fear-mongering nonsense needs to be combated. I accept. And I'm okay. You know what, Josh? Yeah, I deserve the heat, bro. Show Peter Croft. I don't want people to leave. So I don't want people to leave. That wasn't X-rated enough for you. That's not what we're about here, bro. Really quick, KaneZ7 says Melanie Mack is an XG4 reporter. She's a big Tomb Raider enthusiast and an anti-woke YouTuber. I think I've like seen her pop up occasionally. I never looked into her, you know, but I guess I would explain why she was talking about Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider enthusiast. All right. Josh, bring the heat, bro, when it comes to PSVR 2. I deserve it. Cypherpunk, you're saying PlayStation might try day and date on PC to see the difference. Yeah, I've speculated that before, man. You have to imagine Sony's tempted to at least find out. Maybe they're fucking around and finding out. I don't know, but you have to imagine they want to, you know, they want to know what difference does it make. We have Steranko saying, do you think PC players are using Sweet Baby Detected and that's affecting sales? Just a guess. That's a good question, actually. If I'm not mistaken, I think Sweet Baby Inc. was involved, at least to a small degree, with Ragnarok. They could be. Yeah. Which is a shame because, like, I don't know, man. I would have never known, to be honest, that Sweet Baby Inc. had anything to do with Ragnarok. But, yeah. That is still a thing. That could be hurting sales. Cream Ali, you're saying, personally, I'm excited for Dragon Age. I'll just ignore the weird stuff. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to freak out on people. I mean, I have my opinions, of course, as you know, but I'm not going to freak out on people. I don't like doing that shit. I don't like being the person that's like, don't you dare buy that. Don't you dare support that. Like, do you? It's not my place to tell somebody what they should or shouldn't support. At least I don't feel like it is. I'll give my opinion, but I don't know, man. With the Dragon Age thing, the thing that put me off, and I know this sounds maybe a little bit silly, but honestly, when I saw it, I'm like, there's something a little weird about this. I saw that people were like freaking out about Dragon Age because you're like, you know, you can have like surgery scars and stuff to, you know, if you're like transgender or whatnot. And they were like really kind of going above and beyond in that sense with the character creator. It's like, whatever, that doesn't confront me. I mean, it's a bit, it's a bit much. I'm going to be honest. Like, it's just a character creator, but okay. But what really did it for me, because again, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt, man. I try to give people the benefit of the doubt where it's like, okay, maybe the person, I don't want to assume that the person who's doing this is like a bad person, you know? But then people were pointing out, like, you can do that in the character creator, but they have sliders for everything. Why don't you max out the chest size? Why don't you max out the ass, the glutes? Max it out. See what it looks like. And people were pointing this out. And if I hear that, I'm like, oh, what are you guys? What are you guys, crazy? But dude, like, I saw these images of Mac. Dude, they don't let you. And this is where I'm like, this is just getting weird, guys. Where they will let you put surgical scars, but they will not let you have big breasts or a big ass for a female. They literally won't let that be a thing. And to me, the problem there is, like, first off, I don't think we should be fixating on any of this stuff. But if you're going to sit here and say, well, we got to add the surgical scars and we got to do all this stuff because we got to be as inclusive as possible, right? And like, that's fine. But you can't exclude the fact that there are many women on the planet with large breasts and large asses. And they would like to feel represented, where if they play this game, they would like to make their ass large or their breasts large. Like, the ass slider is lacking. I agree, bro. And that's why I'm saying, like, that's where I start to question who's in charge over there. Who the F is in charge of this shit? There we go. Chase encapsulates it perfectly. It's so inclusionary that it's exclusionary. That's it. We did it. You did it, guys. You came full circle. You tried to be so inclusionary that you somehow became exclusionary. How did we get here? All right, I know. I'm sorry, guys. You guys are screaming at me. Cover the leaks. For the love of God, MBG, please stop talking about Dragon Age Veilguard sliders and cover the damn leaks. We will. We're going to do it now. I just have to read a few more super chats. I'm sorry, but I can't neglect the super chats. Legend Peter says, game devs are so insecure about art and it ruins the games industry. Just watch Grounded 2 and Raising Kratos and see who is actually making these games. I mean, there is a level of insecurity across the industry that I really wish didn't exist. This is why, that's why I keep saying, like, we need adults, like secure, mature adults, you know? Kane Z7 says Hassan equals Hideo Days, Good Times, I Was Here. Oh, yeah. I remember that. I'm telling you, we're going to find out one day it was actually secretly Kojima. It's going to happen. And Kane Z7, you're saying, I'm not trans, but if someone wants to be another gender, wouldn't they just choose a character of the opposite gender? I usually play as chicks in game. I'm not even going to attempt to answer that, Kane. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I'll let the guys chat, you answer that. Because I'm just like, whatever, bro. You know, like, this is why people are screaming, like, please cover the leaks, man. Just cover the leaks. I'm tired. I'm so tired of it too. I am. I know. Can we just make fun games and not put this stuff in there for reasons? Sean Mitchell says the SOP comes to a close tomorrow. Herman says they have one more big thing to show. You have a choice between Bend, Sucker Punch, or Santa Monica. Whose IP are you picking, MBG? Well, I will say I'm going to have to go in this case. I will have to go with Sucker Punch. As much as I want to see Santa Monica, I mean, I know that maybe some people would find that a little bit underwhelming because they're like, bro, but if it's Santa Monica, it's something brand new. It's like, I know, but I want to see Ghost 2, man. I do want to see Ghost 2, but putting if Sucker Punch couldn't show up, I'd want to see Santa Monica. I don't know. To be honest, Sean, I don't know that I feel that picky, you know? Like, I'm okay. Just show me any. I'm like at a point where it's like, Sony, if any of those studios show up, I'm set. I'm good. But I do need to move on and cover this leak. Am I going to stream the state of play? Absolutely. Yeah. I will probably do a later stream tomorrow because for me, it's not going to go live until 6 p.m. And I normally go live at 12 p.m. So, but I'm definitely going to cover it. All right. Let me just head over to the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit. Oh, and Moonshot. I'm sorry, bro. I almost missed very last one here. You're saying I forgot that Behemoth VR 2 game is coming out this year. Really looking forward to that. If they bring the goods on what's coming soon, I'm ordering the Pro. Yeah, I mean, I do think that there are people who are on the fence about it, for sure. I think you're kind of proof of that. But where are these leaks? Guys, hold on, where is this leak coming from? Because I thought it would have been at the top here. I swear to God, if you guys were trolling me this whole time and there's no leak. Oh, okay, here we go. I got it. It's a 4chan leak. Okay. Okay, you think, guys, come on. Somebody could have told me it was a damn 4chan leak. Well, let's go over it anyway. It's all we got. We'll take what we can get. I hope it sucks. If this is like it's not that I don't know. The thing with 4chan leaks is it's a coin flip. Is it real? Probably not. Carlos says it's leak time, baby. All right, let me see what it says. State of play, September 24th, focused mainly on Japanese/Chinese third-party partners with updates. Okay, it's already bullshit. Holy shit. How do you fail this hard? 50 minutes long. It's not 50 minutes. It's not. They already told us it's 30 minutes. I couldn't even read a single game before this leak is already debunked. You got to be shitting me, bro. Can you guys, somebody's got to do better. Somebody's got to do better. But just out of curiosity, let's see what games they list. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, early 2025. Until Dawn Remaster. Lego Horizon Adventures, November 17th. Gravity Days 1 and 2 Remastered. What? Do they not mean Gravity Rush? What's Gravity Days? That's not a different game, is it? The hell's going on here? It's a Japanese name. Japanese version of Gravity. Okay. So they're saying Gravity Rush 1 and 2 Remastered, early 2025. Ghost of Tsushima 2, 2025 teaser trailer. The same fuck. Yeah. third-party games. Project The Perceiver. You know, I will say I will say this. I'm looking over. I'm like, I don't know, man. The list is. I do think it's fake, but it. So they. See, yeah, they put here Death Stranding 2 on the beach. Story trailer. I think that would have been counted under first party. Like, dude, see, I don't believe that for a second. I'm just gonna put that out there. I don't believe you're seeing Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Tsushima 2. There ain't no way. So, Project The Perceiver, Code to Jin Yang, Phantom Blade Zero, Lost Soul Aside, Starry Sky Valley, Stellar Blade DLC, Dragon's Dogma 2 expansion, Resident Evil 9, Death Stranding 2, Silent Hill 2 Remake, Silent Hill F, Metal Gear Solid Delta, Kingdom Hearts 4, Final Fantasy 9 Remake, I think. Yeah, this isn't real at all. So, oh, let's see. How many games is that, by the way? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. They couldn't even get that right. They listed 23 games. Yeah, Square's going to show up 3 times. Konami's going to show up 3 times. That's the TGS list. All right, so let's leave Fantasyland for a moment here. Yeah, that's not real. Sorry, I'm sorry if anybody had hope, but that's not real. Here's what I'm going to tell you. Do not, and I know that this is going to kill some people to hear this, but I'm just trying to be real with you guys. Do not expect Sony to show up with any major first-party announcements. The biggest first-party presence you will likely see at this State of Play is Death Stranding 2. I know for some people that's disappointing. People who are like, bro, where's the roadmap? Where are the new games? And I get it, but you're gonna see at most, and this is at most, Death Stranding 2 trailer, Horizon Remastered, Days Gone Remastered, and I mean, all right, so I'll put this out here. This is the only other first party thing I will be willing to throw in here, only because it's long overdue. And it would technically count as an update to a game that's already out. I'm thinking maybe you'll see Spider-Man DLC announced. Spider-Man 2 DLC. Because I feel like it's long overdue. It's almost a year at this point. So that's a game that's going to be pro enhanced, but they might show that. So that's it. I don't know how that sounds to people. I'm sure most people feel like that sounds disappointing, like Death Stranding 2, more remasters and DLC. But I just want to remind people, man, that like there is, I don't know, man. There is like there's hardly any pressure on Sony right now. I'm not saying there won't be pressure, but Wolverine, yeah, like I don't think we're going to see Wolverine till next year. I don't think we're going to see Ghost of Tsushima 2. I want to see Ghost. I would love that, dude. I would love the idea of Sony's like, we're going to close out our State of Play with a big Ghost of Tsushima teaser trailer reveal. Like that'd be amazing, but I don't think it's happening. Not saying that these games aren't coming. I'm not saying that I don't expect us to eventually get a roadmap, but I just feel like it's not on the cards. It's not in the cards right now. Kane Z7, you're saying a leaker already confirmed Final Fantasy IX remake is coming together with Final Fantasy Tactics remake. We might see something very soon. Yeah, I mean, look, I think Square could show up, but I just, just looking at this list, it's like they're going to have 3. I mean, I don't know, man. It would be nice. Listen, I would love for Sony to have a really good state of play tomorrow, man. I would love for tomorrow to be the best state of play they ever put on, but I don't know. I just know better at this point than to assume that it's going to be amazing. It could be, but just so people don't go in feeling like mega disappointed. If like, dude, for all I know, listen, man, let's set the expectations even lower. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna set them even lower, dude. The only thing you're getting from Sony tomorrow, Horizon and Days Gone remastered. That's it. That's all you're getting, and a release date for Lego Horizon. That's it. That's all you're getting. All right. I'm telling you, go in with those expectations. You won't walk out being like, man, I'm so disappointed. You'll walk out being like, man, that was underwhelming, but I knew it would be, I don't know. Maybe it's just the mood I'm in today. Maybe tomorrow I'll feel different. Terrence is like, I knew it would suck. See, Terrence is going with the right attitude. Terrence is reacting as if he already saw it and it sucked, and he's maintaining that attitude going into it. Like I've seen the future, bro. Nothing can surprise me. Is the Days Gone remaster far along? I don't know. Subtext, you're saying my hopium is that Ghost of Tsushima was a hit in Japan, so they may want to show Ghost of Tsushima 2 at Tokyo Game Show. Not expecting, but hoping. There is some logic there, I will say. There is some logic there, and I'll give you that, Subtext. Ghost of Tsushima was kind of a big deal, I think, in Japan. It was very well respected. I know that. So, would that be enough of a reason for them to be like, this is where we want to show it? Maybe, but like you're saying, not expecting, just hoping. Where the heck is Bluepoint and Housemarque? I think the problem with Bluepoint and Housemarque, it's not a problem, but I think the reason why we haven't seen them yet is because, well, they're both making new IPs, and new IP takes a long time. I mean, that's the thing that I think people seem to overlook sometimes, is that, we want new stuff, but this new stuff's going to take a long time to make. I mean, sequels take a long time too. Sequels take 4 or 5 years, sometimes even a little bit longer. But if you're talking about like making a new game from scratch, yeah, it's gonna take some time. Yeah, and that's true too. They are smaller teams. I think they probably scaled up since they were acquired by Sony, Housemarque and Bluepoint, that is. But yeah, they are smaller teams. Let's see what people are saying on Twitter. Literally the first thing I see in the Explore tab. PlayStation State of Play Showcase. What are people saying? What are they saying? Let's go check the replies. State of Remastered. Here we go. I can already feel the positivity flowing. Helldivers will probably show up there. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're getting an update for Helldivers. You're saying, what do you mean a long time? MBG, the console gen is almost ending. Are you kidding me? It's not almost ending. No. This console generation isn't almost ending. Dude, we got, at minimum, bro, we have full 3 years, like a full 3 years. Probably 4 years, realistically. I don't know what soon is to you, man, but that's like 3 years is a long time, bro. 2020. Yeah, you're saying 2027. Dude, 2027, that's not close. I don't know. I guess everybody perceives time differently. But for me, 3 years is not like a short amount of time. That's a good chunk of time right there, bro. A lot can happen in 3 years, let me tell you. We got time. We got some time. Chris, you're saying I can't get over the fact that you read a 4chan leak over Reddit. Wait, hold on. No, hold on. Chris, are you saying there's a Reddit leak? No, the 4chan post was on Reddit. That's the only reason I even considered it, because it was on there. But I don't see any other leaks on Reddit. Chris is very disturbed right now. Oh, you're okay. I get what you're saying. I think maybe I read it wrong. All right, Chris, are you saying that you're shocked that Reddit was linking to 4chan? Josh, you're saying here PlayStation State of Play 2.5 out of 10. That's what I'm expecting. But I do also think they did fully get rid of their showcase after the last tragic showcase. Could you imagine, bro? Like, could you imagine if that's actually what they did, where they're like, you know what, we're not doing this anymore because their like showcase was so bad. I'm going to read you the top comments, the top replies on the Twitter State of Play announcement. State of Remastered, here we go. All right, I have to admit, this is actually a really funny reply. Jeff Grubb replied to the official State of Play announcement, just simply saying source. Be careful, Jeff. Sony's going to send their ninjas after you, bro. He's flying close to the sun now. That's a funny ass reply though, dude. The next top reply is can't wait for the 13 remasters you guys have planned. Pio says can't wait for Horizon remaster and Days Gone remaster, and I'm guess he's being sarcastic. I don't know. My assumption is he's being sarcastic. Does it place as excellent chance to address the DRM issue of the detachable disk drive? We've been waiting for a long time to hear how you will prevent this becoming a game preservation nightmare in the future. I tried reaching out via DM to ask PlayStation as well. Well, shit. Some people are thinking we might see Marathon. Somebody says they're excited for Astrobot remastered, Concord remastered. Oh man, it's quite it's very unfortunate, man, that this is I don't know. This is the way people talk about PlayStation now, man. And this is why I'm even though my expectations are so low, it's just like, yeah, Sony, it would just be great if you could just silence it all, you know, by just showing new games so people are like, okay, that's all we wanted. But 2024 has been kind of crazy. You're saying it's just jokes people still watch? Yeah, I mean, probably. You thinking KOTOR remake? No, I don't think that's showing up, dude. This is how people talked about Xbox when you were an Xbox guy. Yeah, but the difference is like Xbox genuinely. I'm not saying Sony doesn't deserve Sony definitely deserves some of the criticism they get, but with Xbox it was very different, and like they genuinely deserved it, man. It's like, what the fuck? Or like, you guys have nothing, bro. You have nothing. And anything you like, and the few things you do have, it's like, this is not good. And that's I will say that you know, people, like I say, they ask me like, bro, what would have to make you leave PlayStation? And I'm like, not what they're doing now. Like a PS5 Pro isn't going to make me leave PlayStation. PSN requirement on PC is not going to do it. What would do it is stop releasing games. Stop putting out games that I'm interested in. Do that consistently for like a year or two straight, and I'm out. And maybe I'll come back, but I'm out. That's why I've always tried to tell people, like, I don't know, man, as somebody, like, the reason I came over to PlayStation was because they offered, well, because I came to the generation later, like a shit ton of games. But seeing where else is there to turn, that's a good point. It's a good point. I don't know, I guess you could always go to PC. I don't know, I'm going to be keeping an eye out on Nintendo. I'm going to be keeping an eye out on them. See what they end up doing. I think Insomniac's going to save Sony again. You're saying 6 games in 5 years for the PS5? 6 games? What? Saying it's got to feel a bit familiar to you, for you, though? Yeah, to a degree, for sure. Like, the belief that I had with Xbox back in the day was that Microsoft, listen, you got to show games that get people excited because they seem higher quality. And then when those games release, they have to release at higher quality. Like, my biggest thing against Microsoft was that just across the board, outside of third-party multi-plat games, like, they were dropping the fucking ball, dude. Where it's like none of your games are reaching the quality level that people expect. Any of the partner games you have are not reaching the quality level people expect. And it was just the ball was being dropped, like, just completely. And I believed what Microsoft needed to do, because you have to understand, man, like, when we're talking about last gen Xbox, dude, last gen Xbox was literally wait for next E3. There was a quote where, I'm not even kidding, at one point Phil Spencer said, like, I'm more excited for the games that we didn't show. It was that crazy, dude. And this is why I'm trying to tell people, like, bro, if people think Sony doesn't have games, they just don't know. They never lived through the Xbox phase, the Xbox drought, man. Like, if you think this is what having no games is like, and you know what, to be fair, Sony has spoiled people with games, dude. Like, I tried telling people the reason why everybody is so angry with Sony games-wise right now and how quiet they are with their first party in particular is because Sony basically had, I mean, they've conditioned people where it's like, yeah, bro, we always have, like, big games coming. That's pretty much what they've done. And they've done that consistently. And then, you know, a time comes where it's like, all right, well, our big first-party studios are busy cooking. They can't really talk right now. But we have a shit ton of other games to fill the gaps, you know? And I get it. Like, people are like, man, Helldivers 2 isn't the same, or, you know, Astrobot isn't the same, or Stellar Blade isn't the same. And I get it. But why are we going to pretend that these games are bad? They're not. They're not bad. Kainsey7, you're saying, look at Mr. Pyro's predictions for tomorrow, LMAO. Let's go check. What are his predictions? Very calm and reasonable, I bet. Very calm and reasonable. Why can't I find him? His predictions for tomorrow. Ghost of Tsushima 2, Final Fantasy IX Remake, Naughty Dog's new IP, God of War Remake, Wolverine gameplay, Death Stranding 2 release date, Kingdom Hearts 4, Grand Theft Auto 6, a new Uncharted game, God of War God of War Egypt teaser, Mario and Zelda ports, Bloodborne remastered, and Final Fantasy VII Part 3. at least half of this must come true. I gotta say, the Mario and Zelda ports definitely sound. There might be something there. Yeah, very calm and reasonable. Very underwhelming. You know what? You know what? Makes me wonder. Like, I genuinely wonder, like, if there are people who happen to come across something like that and they actually are like, "Oh yeah," you know? Makes me wonder. Checking to see if. Hmm. So here's something I want to tell people about this state of play. So, and I hate that. I hate that this is where we are, but I'm just trying to. I almost wonder if I'm like just hurting myself at this point, where it's like maybe it would be in my best interest to hype this shit up. But something else that people I think need to keep in mind, dude, is we're likely going to see games that have already been announced and out for a while. Like, dude, we're probably going to see Alan Wake 2. It's like, do I want to fucking see Alan Wake 2 at the state of play? Fuck no. Are we going to? Probably. And I'm just saying this because it's like this state of play, a portion of this state of play is to show PS5 Pro enhanced games. So I don't know. I just think people really like. I'm gonna be just as brutally honest with you as I can be, and I'm not saying it to. I'm not trying to put a damper on things, but just truly keep your expectations low, man. You're gonna see people that are gonna go into the show with this expectation of, all right, Sony, show me what you got, and I'm here to tell you, Sony's not here to show you what they got. I'm just letting you know. That's not what this is. If you go in saying, Sony, show me some games from third parties and maybe a couple remasters from you guys that I might be interested in. Show me that. Okay. Yeah, you might walk away with a couple things being like, "Oh yeah, I'm excited for some of these games. I want to play some of these games." But I'm just telling you, man, don't go in with high expectations. They killed MBG's PlayStation hype. I mean, like I said, I will always advocate for. I would love to walk away surprised and like, holy shit, that was great. Like, dude, don't forget. I'm just saying, Sony has done it before. January state of play, people went in with low expectations and they walked away like, holy shit, that was amazing. I'm just not saying that we should necessarily expect that every time. Chris, you're saying I'm not covering the leaks you're sending in the chat. I'm not. Chris, I'm not getting any. I don't think they're going through. Oh, wait, here we go. PS5 Pro enhancements, 1 minute. Shows Horizon Call the Mountain, Firewall Ultra, Moss Books 1 and 2, Walking Dead, Saints and Sinners. Getting free PS5 Pro enhancement. Chris, where are you getting these from? Metro Awakening VR, date trailer, 2 minutes. Shows more of the game on the Pro. Release date November 7th. Pre-orders up for $60. Power World PS5 announcement, 1 minute. The game is coming to PS5 and Pro at the launch of November 7th with enhancements. Huh. I don't know about that Power World thing, though, man. I don't know. I think Nintendo stopped that from happening. Hogwarts Legacy Director's Cut reveal trailer includes new missions and spells as well. Pre-orders available for $20. Base game users. Man, we're getting more remasters than we thought, bro. We're getting a Hogwarts Legacy Director's Cut. Shit. For a second, I thought Boss was making a weird noise over there. Kane Z7, he says, stated playlist just leaked. Horizon Zero Dawn remaster, Days Gone remastered, Until Dawn remake, Spider-Man remastered remake, Astrobot remake, God of War remaster, Silent Hill 2 remaster remake, The Last of Us 2 remaster remake enhanced. Hype. Why oh why? Jim Ryan remastered. I don't know. Maybe it'll be. I like to think it'll be better than that, Kane. Did Sony confirm first party stuff? They did not. No. No first party stuff has been confirmed. Yeah, it seems like generally speaking, people do have lower expectations, which is good. By the way, I want to give a shout out. I'm a little bit late to this one. I didn't see it, but Masochist mode. There is no message that was left, but they dropped a $20 direct donation. Masochist mode, if you're still here, thank you so much for that, man. I really appreciate that support, bro. Yeah, thank you guys for all the support, all the super chats and whatnot. I mean, it says we're sitting at one member, by the way. We didn't actually get any members. As far as I'm aware, we didn't get any members today. So I don't know why that's sitting at one. But yeah, guys, keep in mind, you can always drop some member gifts as well or become a member. I didn't shout this out at the beginning of the stream like I normally do, but, you know, consider becoming a member. You gain access to some exclusive perks. We're going to be doing some members content at the end of the week as well. But yeah, Masochist mode. Thank you so much for that, man. I'm sorry I took so long to see that. I have the clown hat ready. Andrew says Concord remake will be there and it will be $60 LMAO. Concord remake now with over 2 hours of credits. Well, on a more serious note, there are some games I'd be interested in. I'm not gonna front and lie and pretend that I wouldn't want to play a Days Gone remaster, as long as they actually show stuff that feels like, okay, they look like some worthwhile enhancements. I'd be interested in that. And I feel like I would want to support it because I do want to you want to talk about having hopium. I want to believe that if I were to support Days Gone remastered, it would send a signal to Sony like, see, we still want this, man. Please make more. But if Resident Evil 9 shows up, I'm going to be pretty excited about that. I've been waiting to see Resident Evil 9 for a while. It'll be interesting to see what VR games show up. I'm not necessarily ultra excited for VR, but it'll be interesting to see what they show up with. And Paul Ganell comes in and drops a membership gift. Paul, thank you so much, bro. OK got the gift as well. Which is funny because OK usually drops single gifts as that's usually what he does. So there we go. It's like ping-ponging back and forth. Thank you, Paul. So now we're officially at one member. I don't know why that was there. If Ghost shows up, that's a 9. It's a 9 for you. Dude, if Ghost shows up, yeah, that's automatically a successful state of play for me. I'm not expecting it, but it would be great. I see we have Masochist Mode joining the member train here. Welcome to Greatness Await, Masochist Mode. Thank you so much. Yeah, he just dropped a direct donation and actually decided to become a member as well. Thank you, bro. Welcome aboard. Look forward to your exclusive perks. And then OK drops a single. That's what you love to see, man. That's what you love to see. OK got gifted a membership and then he paid it forward. He dropped a member gift of his own. Taicho was gifted a membership. Good stuff, man. Thank you, guys. So that should bring us up to, we're actually at 3. So yeah, guys, we'll strive. We'll see if we can hit that 25 goal, okay? If we hit that 25 goal, we'll feed the beast. We'll give boss some treats. We have Alvin. He says, in all seriousness, Miyazaki himself says he'd love to work on Bloodborne again. The first one sold 7.8 million. The remake is easy money. I don't understand. Well, I will tell you this, man. There are plans for Bloodborne. Absolutely. Sony's not stupid. And yeah, there is the fact that Miyazaki says that he would like to do more with it. I think that, and I've maintained this for a little while, Bloodborne is being saved for next gen, dude. I think that Sony feels as though Bloodborne could benefit more so by being saved for like the PlayStation 6, a launch title. Yeah, that's what I think. I think Bloodborne Remake is going to be a PS6 launch title, dude. And I think it's going to make people lose their minds in a good way. I think that's the point. I think Sony feels like they're going to need a real kind of like ace up their sleeve. And I think that's it for them. Yeah, kind of like Demon Souls. But let's be real. Bloodborne is much bigger than Demon Souls. So it'll have a pretty big shockwave. Certainly. And Devilac47, 20th time super chatting as well. Thank you so much, Devilac. You're saying Asmon and other streamers have suggested Bloodborne will come out before the end of the year. I don't know, man. There's no... I mean, I'll tell you, listen, in my opinion, there's a 0% chance that Sony's doing anything with Bloodborne this generation, let alone this year. If Sony wanted to break the internet tomorrow, they could. Yeah, I mean, that'd be a hell of a surprise announcement. It's like, oh, by the way, one more thing. Here's Bloodborne Remastered. That'd be crazy. But I don't know, man. The idea that streamers are suggesting, I don't know that I would put too much credence in that. And Keynesy7 says Demon Souls equals PS3 to PS5. Bloodborne equals PS4 to PS6. Yep, that's how I'm seeing it too, Kane. And Sim Particle says shifting over completely to the Masochist account soon. Oh, yeah, you know what? I knew that name sounded familiar. I was like, Masochist mode. If I'm not mistaken, Sim Particle, you said you're going to try to make videos with no HUD, playing at the hardest difficulty. Good shit, man. Well, I appreciate it, Sim Particle, or should I say Masochist mode. Saying, yeah, that was not fun. Yeah. Is London studio even still around? No, they got shut down, bro. Sorry to say. They don't exist anymore. All right, let me check the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit again. See if anything else came out. No, no leaks or anything. It is worth noting that Sony is apparently unveiling new Inzone monitors tomorrow. So if you're somebody who cares about Sony's new line of monitors, apparently they got a new lineup they're announcing tomorrow as well. The first line of Inzone, I think they people were saying they were pretty good actually, but I think they only had like 2 models or something. If Sony makes a 32-inch monitor, I don't know, I might consider it. You think they'll have a 32-inch? I'd be on board with that. I need an OLED. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. If they have a 32-inch monitor, it's going to be like $1,100. You hope they make a 48-inch monitor? I don't know. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the first line of Inzone monitors, I think they both capped out at 27 inches. So it would be a pretty big jump. I feel like 32 inch is probably the next logical step. Just buy a TV. 48-inch monitor, just buy a TV, bro. How about a 98-inch monitor? There you go. Hang it on the wall. MBG buying a monitor. LOL, you'd be halfway to a PC. Well, I have monitors, you know, but I don't have a Sony monitor. The extra inches matter. I don't know, man. We're gonna see. Sony has quite a bit planned. They're announcing new monitors. They got a state of play. They're going to be at TGS. They got a presentation for Death Stranding 2. Steven, you're saying 43. I'm there. I know Sony, talking about OLED, Sony has like a I could have swore they had like a 42-inch OLED screen, which I guess that could be a monitor. There you go. 42-inch OLED. Do you really need a monitor with a console? I think most people don't use a monitor for consoles. Most people don't. All right, I want to put out a poll for you guys real quick. Just give me a second. I'm adding some options here. All right, so it won't let me. Damn it. All right, this will have to be good enough. All right, putting the poll out. Hype level for tomorrow's state of play. They wouldn't let me put 1 out of 5 on there. So vote on that poll. The votes are flooding in. Man, a lot of people 2 out of 5 or lower. Almost nobody's hitting 5 out of 5. Sony has crushed our expectations. Capone says, bro, there is no hype. This is sad. You did this, Sony. This is Sony's fault. Damn you, Sony. Let me go check the PS5 subreddit is usually a little bit more positive. Let's see what they're saying. Top comment so far on the PS5 subreddit is more than 20 titles confirmed. Stated play is back to... Oh, wait, that's just a... Hold on. Remember to keep expectations in check. Metal Gear Solid Delta release date, please. Hopefully something about Resident Evil gets announced. I just want at least one first-party story game revealed for 2025 or 2026. Ghost of Tsushima 2 or Santa Monica's new IP, hopefully. Yeah, I don't... See, I feel bad because it's like, I don't think that's asking for much. I don't. Like, I don't think asking for just one new first-party game announcement is asking for much, but I just don't think it's happening. I don't think it's ready. You know? That's true. Yeah, they didn't say to not expect first-party. But I think that's because the first party that's showing up are remasters. Or PS5 Pro enhanced games. Chris, you're asking if I can read your next chat. I'll try to. MGS Delta Snake Eater gameplay showcase, 5 minutes, fully showcasing the gameplay captured on PS5 Pro. Launch date is November 7th. Pre-orders available, $60 standard, $70 deluxe. Oh, I'd fall out of my chair, bro. I don't believe that for a second, but I'd fall out of my chair. That'd be great. I will say, it's going to be really interesting if Sony doesn't show any type of roadmap at all, because it does mean, well, all right. Here's what I think. I think that what Sony's going to do is they're going to show you maybe like one or two remasters that are going to be like, maybe it will be Horizon Zero Dawn and Days Gone. And both of these remasters are going to launch in the first 3 months of 2025. So Sony will be able to say, like, we have some stuff, they're remasters, but we have stuff for the first quarter. But I think really what is likely to happen is Sony, I don't know, man. I think they could do a showcase in early 2025. I know it sounds like hopium, but I don't think so, because that's months away. But I could see Sony trying to do a showcase in February or March, and that's where they're going to basically they're going to be like, look, we're going to give you like Horizon remastered for the first quarter. They could do that too, another state of play in January or something, but I don't know. I think by that point, I feel like you got to do a fucking, come on. Still no showcase? Hicksock, you're saying these ports are free. 2 to 4 devs could port Bloodborne PS5. Yeah, I really don't think that there's a lot of people working on these ports. I don't know if it's that low, like 2 to 4 developers, but don't pay for the remaster, let's boycott it. Well, I mean, if you're not interested in it, don't give them your money. But boycotting it, I don't think that's going to happen, man. I think that there are people who don't realize that these remasters are also meant to appeal to people who haven't played the game. You know, there are people on PS5 that were not there for Horizon Zero Dawn, that were not there for Days Gone, and they might be here now. So it might be something for them. They need to do $10 upgrades though. If they don't, I hope Sony doesn't pull some bullshit with Horizon Zero Dawn where they're like, I don't know, included with every copy of Lego Horizon. Well, that wouldn't make sense because then it would have to be available on Switch. I don't know. There's got to be just a there's got to just be a solid upgrade path for people who already own it. You know, if they can do that, I don't think there's any problems really. But there will still be disappointment, but there wouldn't necessarily be anger. Although at this point, I think people are just laughing, you know? That's another thing that I find surprising about PlayStation right now, man. I feel like PlayStation doesn't, at least whoever's kind of like running the ship, I don't know if it would be Herman or Hiroki Totoki or whatever, but they don't seem to understand that like everything you do, like people are just kind of laughing at now because it's, you know, not everything, but most. Chris, what do I think? I don't know. I don't believe that leak, bro. I'm going to be honest with you. It sounds too, I mean, some of it sounds plausible, but I don't know. Cory Barlog's new game. Yeah, see, automatically, it just, I don't believe it. Sounds too good to be true. Williams 50 incoming. A 50 bomb. Somebody drop a 50 bomb now. We need to. Why is it Sam? Dude, what is happening? This is like systems glitching out. Would I rather more stated plays with intermittent game updates for first party and third party, etc.? I wouldn't be opposed to that, but the key is like there has to be first party games, you know? KZ7, you're saying they did it on the blog. They said partners. That's true. That's true. Yeah. We don't want to overlook that. Akuma Aaron says, what should I expect for tomorrow's state of play? Just got here. Low expectations. Some remasters. Maybe Spider-Man DLC. Third party. Resident Evil 9. Oliver says, Crackdown 4. PS5 exclusive 12 months. Hell yeah, bro. Knack 3. Are we going to get a Knack 3? Nah, I don't think so. That would be pretty funny, though. I'm not going to lie. A Knack 3 announcement would be pretty funny. Look, I'm not saying the state of play, to be clear, can be fine. Like, I just have this bad feeling. I'm going to be honest, guys. Like, I have a bad feeling. I have a bad feeling that, like, people are going to lose their fucking minds tomorrow. And it's not going to be good. And I guess a part of this is just because this is kind of how it's been, man. You know, like, why are people mad at Sony now? Oh, okay. All right, it's a new week, guys. Oh, and now people are mad again. Yeah, it's just like Sony has been, and I'm not here to say whether it's justified or not. I'm just saying it's been like anti-hype these days. You're saying they don't want hype. Dude, it's been like anti-hype. And that's the part that I think sucks, which it's fine, but yeah, dude, it's created this kind of scenario where, like, I don't know, man. I feel like I've reached a new low of like, it's not that I am not enjoying PlayStation, because that's not the case, but there is no hype, dude. You know? Like I'm certain, like the thing is, I am certain that Sony will show me things tomorrow that I'm actually going to want to play. And that's what matters most. Like, I'm going to see things that I want to play. But I don't think I'm going to walk away being like, yeah, James Hetfield, yeah, like high five. That was great. I'm excited. Like, I think it's just going to be like, oh, yeah, I'm looking forward to this and that. But, and I think a big reason for that is going to be because people are going to be like, I think people are going to just basically be very underwhelmed and very angry at Sony again. That's what so there's not going to be much room. There's not going to be much room for people to like celebrate. And Zanichelli says, we all have this bad feeling, apathy, and that's dangerous for brands. Yeah, I would like Sony to, I don't know, I would like Sony to show more fanfare. And they did that with the 30th anniversary stuff, but outside of that, man, like they're pretty locked in and robotic these days. And again, it's not that it's all bad. There's a lot of stuff that like I do want to see more Death Stranding 2, but I just feel like Sony doesn't care to try to hype things anymore, if that makes sense. And if there's one thing that I think maybe is becoming a little bit obvious, is they just, I don't know, man, maybe that's where they've gotten too comfortable. They've gotten too comfortable and like, we don't need to hype anymore. Here you go. And that, I don't know, man, that sucks. Like, I get it. It's very adult like, like, here's the product. Please buy the product if you are excited for the product. If not, okay, on to the next product. It's like, I just don't feel the hype anymore. And I think that's not for me. It's not because I'm not hyped. It's just because it's very sterile. I even think about like Astrobot, where I don't know, man. It's interesting to think that like Sony could have announced Astrobot like 6 months prior to when they did. And I'm not saying that would have made the biggest difference in the world, but it's just interesting to me that they're like, listen, we're going to announce it in June, like in June 1st, basically, and we're going to release it September 6th. So there's going to be like a 3-month window, and it's like people barely have any room to fucking breathe during that. It's like, I guess I'm just saying, like, I hope Sony doesn't take that approach with every game. I think with Astrobot, it makes sense because it's a smaller game. Astrobot makes sense because it's small. But I don't know, man. It would just be like, it just feels like everything is very, like I said, a little bit sterile, sometimes very sterile. And I don't know. I just don't want to see, I don't know what it's going to take, man. Like I see people express so much anger and frustration at the PlayStation brand and disappointment. And you know me, like, I don't fight that. I tell people like, hey man, I only fight the people that are being way too over the top, like when I see people say like they have no games, or when I see people be like, man, this generation has been the worst. And I'm like, okay, well, hold on. Like, that's just objectively not true. But if they say things like, man, Sony seems to be getting a little bit complacent or a little bit too reliant on remasters, or underwhelming in their approach, or just not, maybe even getting a bit greedy and stuff. It's like, yeah, these are all things that I think are true. And I think that there are, there are clearly reasons for it. But I just wonder what it's going to take, man, because at the end of the day, I've always tried to tell people, like, listen, how you feel versus your actions, like how you choose to act, they're two different things. They can align with one another, but they're two different things. If you feel angry and upset and like, man, you really don't like PlayStation anymore, or like you don't want them to continue down this path at all, like you don't like anything you're doing, then you have to, your actions need to determine like, all right, so what are you doing with your money? And you know what I think the reality is? I think the reality is people are very picky and choosy, which is fine, as they should be. But I think at the end of the day, that's kind of what muddies everything. It's like, yeah, I'm not fucking buying that Pro. F you, Sony. I'm not buying your Horizon remaster. But then you buy Astrobot. And that's good. Like, I'm not saying it's bad, but it's just like you're still giving them your money. Do you see what I'm saying? Where it's like, from Sony's perspective, this is why they feel like they can do this stuff, because I've tried to explain to people that the things that they're doing that would be considered extracurricular, if you want to call it that, just kind of bonus. These are the things that people get the most angry about, but that's where it's like, dude, that's not the cause. Like, it's the cause of their suffering in terms of public perception and optics, where it's like, yes, a Horizon Zero Dawn remaster and a Days Gone remaster, if they both show up tomorrow, people are going to laugh at them and be like, what the actual F is wrong with you guys? But at the end of the day, the only thing that Sony's thinking is nothing. These products are not for you. And people are going to ask, all right, well then what is the product for me? Death Stranding 2. I'm not interested in Death Stranding 2. Resident Evil 9. I'm not interested in Resident Evil 9. Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not interested in Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm trying to think of like other games off the top of my head, but other third-party games, or again, I'm assuming they're not showing first-party games. And then it's like, Metal Gear Solid Delta. It's like, all right, if somebody says no to all of these games, then the question at some point needs to be asked, and like, what are you doing on PlayStation? Lego Horizon. I'm not interested in Lego Horizon. Until Dawn. I'm not interested in Until Dawn. Okay, then and if somebody says, I want the new games, Sony, I want the new games from the new studios, I totally, like, that's where I sympathize and I empathize with that, because it's like, yeah, I do too. But if that's all you're looking for, they're not here yet. And there's nothing I or you or anybody, even Sony, probably can't do shit about that, because if the games aren't fucking ready, they're not ready. Like, I want Ghost 2, but if Sucker Punch is like, listen, we're not ready to show it, I don't want Sony to like walk in and put a gun in their head and be like, you're showing it. Like, I don't want that. I want the studio to do what they feel is right for their game when the timing is right. But I guess I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, people will say things like, oh, the sheep will just buy. And it's like, well, it's not that simple. It's not a singular product. It's not just the sheep will buy. There's a lot on offer that speaks to all different people. And something that I predict is going to happen tomorrow is I'm going to see people on my timeline where I'm going to see people losing their minds. Like, oh my God, Resident Evil 9 was announced at that State of Play, and Resident Evil 9 looks incredible. And I'm going to see people hyping the shit out of Resident Evil 9, assuming that does show up. But I'm going to see other people being like, I hate Sony. I can't believe they showed off 2 remasters of games that really don't need to be remastered. And that's what I mean, where it's like, there's just this kind of disconnect where I think too many people just don't realize that PlayStation, first and foremost, is a platform that offers many different options. And because of that, there's always going to be people that are like, what are you complaining about? Oh, I'm not even paying attention to that. I'm busy over here playing this or enjoying this. And that's why people say, like, man, Sony needs more competition. And it's like, yeah, I'm not in disagreement with that. Because, like, what the lack of competition affords Sony something that I don't want to say is bad per se, but it could also explain like why why we're in this predicament right now, where I want you to imagine if after that Xbox, because everybody loved that Xbox showcase in June, right? Everybody loved that Xbox showcase, and they were cheering Microsoft on. They're like, you finally did it, Microsoft. Look at all these games. And I'm just over here wondering, like, what did that do for them exactly? It's like a serious question, man, where it's like, I thought that their show was really good too. And I was like, damn, yeah, Microsoft, you finally made it. But I feel like it's like, is it too late though? Like, because it didn't seem to move Xbox units at all. It didn't seem to increase Game Pass subscribers at all. And I'm not saying there isn't excitement for these games. Like Call of Duty was the biggest game they showed off. And it's like, but that's on PlayStation 2. So I like when I look at that, it's like, yeah, I don't think Sony is looking at that like, oh fuck, man, did you just see all the stuff that Microsoft showed off? We gotta have something big. Like, no, I think Sony's looking at that and being like, does anybody even remember that show? Like, does anybody even I'm like literally, I'm probably the only person right now on planet Earth talking about that show. And I'm not saying it's because it didn't matter. It mattered in that moment, but it doesn't matter now. And the only way that show could matter now is if that show led to a massive increase in Xbox console sales to where suddenly Sony saw that, and now here in September 2024, Xbox might be showing signs of catching up to Sony. And then Sony would be like, we got to have a better show now. Because we got to start selling these consoles quicker than this, like just in case, like they're showing signs, and that's why I say like the whole industry has shifted where Sony is. I mean, somebody said earlier like if you're not playing on PlayStation, we're going to turn to, and it's like, well, you can turn to PC, and you can turn to Nintendo, you can go to Xbox if you want, but I get what they're saying where they're like. First party output wise, I mean, I'll be honest with you guys, like my Nintendo fans in the chat right now, I'm going to ask you to guide me here. How has Nintendo's first party output been this year so far? Joe, you need to calm down in the chat, bro. I'm not hating on the showcase. I literally just said I thought the Xbox showcase was really good. I'm not hating on it. You're misinterpreting me saying that I don't think it was very consequential with me hating on it. I liked their showcase. I thought it was really good. Velocity saying decent, I would say. Because I just don't know, man. Like, people, myself included, to be clear, I'm not defending. I'm part of this group of people I'm about to talk about. But people are like, Sony, where the fuck is your first party, bro? Where are the new games, bro? But and like I just don't know. Like, who else is doing who is doing better than Sony first party output wise? In terms of like, I mean, I guess we could, I don't know. If you really want to count Call of Duty for Microsoft, sure, but I just feel like that's kind of a cop out. But you can if you really want. And I'm genuinely asking that question. Like, I'm asking that question because if it's like, you know what, Sony, I'm tired of waiting on your shit. I'm tired of you taking so long with your games. I'm tired of your remasters. I'm going. You go to PC, but it's mostly the same stuff there. I mean, I guess there are some games, right? I guess there are some PC exclusives. I don't know what's going on here. Something just glitched out with Zombie Dragon. Nintendo dropped nothing but remasters the entire year until Zelda comes out. I didn't even know that. And I want to make it clear that I'm not saying any of this as in like, so you better fucking be happy with what Sony gives you. No, I'm not saying that at all. And I do not want it to be interpreted that way. I'm just saying that really quick, Titus, you're saying there's tons of stuff that never goes to PS5. Okay. All right. Well, then to be fair, I guess PC is a truly viable option for some people. But I guess what I'm trying to say here is that if you're the person that's like, something tells me that a lot of the games you're talking about are not on the level of game. Like, they're not the same type of games you would get from Sony first party. Because I know that there is stuff on PC that just doesn't come to console. I do know that. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if you're the person that is upset with Sony because you're like, Sony, where are the first party games, bro? The new ones. I'm hard pressed to believe that you're going to be like, you know what? Never mind. I'm going to PC and I'm playing these PC games that never made their way to console. Like, maybe you could do that, but I just don't think most people are doing that. And I think most people are just simply like, well, I would like, I don't know. I'm not saying most people are in the same boat that I am, but I just think that, I don't know, maybe they are, where it's like, if tomorrow's state of play disappoints because it's like, yeah, there's no Ghost of Tsushima 2. There's no first party studios. There's fucking remasters from Sony and a bunch of third party games. Okay, that's disappointing. But then I'm going to ask myself, okay, but how many of those games did I see that I'm actually excited to play on PS5? And then I count, oh, wow, there's like 7 games that I'm like really excited to play. Do you get what I'm saying? Where it's like, I'm going to walk away being like, fuck, man, Sony still had no first party, still no showcase. But I'm also going to walk away with like, but damn, there are quite a few games I do want to play on PS5. Quite a few games I'm looking forward to. And that to me is such, it's why I just find it so strange, the position that Sony is in. Where it's like, I think that's the reality, man, is I think a lot of people are talking like me, and saying things and expressing themselves on the internet, and then they're doing something else when they're not on the internet. You know? Where it's like, man, fuck you, Sony. And then it's like you boot up your PS5 and you play a game on PlayStation. You know? And that's why I think the whole, not to bring it up again, but why I think you're saying that's the definition of sheep. That's why I think it's so funny that like literally more than half the people complaining about the PS5 Pro, like, what are they going to do? They're going to boot up their PS5s and play on their PS5s. And that's why I'm saying it's like, until people get to a point, like, unless everybody, or at least like 60% of people collectively get together and decide, you know what, Sony, we've had enough. We're striking, you know, like we're boycotting. We're going against this. We're not paying another dime on any one of your products, on your ecosystem, until you show some first party games. Yeah, good luck. Good luck with that. Because as you're saying that, somebody's out there being like, oh shit, bro, Days Gone Remastered? I'll buy it. And I'm that person. I'm the problem. No, maybe I am the problem. I don't know. Do you know how many? Oh my god, dude. Okay, I gotta tell you about this. I saw people pointing out that they're like, God damn, dude, how the weirdest situation with the PS5 Pro is like every YouTuber, or like almost every YouTuber, is like shitting on the Pro, but simultaneously saying, yeah, I'm gonna get it. And they're like justifying it because it's like, oh, you know, I'll cover it on YouTube. It's like, get the fuck out of here, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. That's bullshit. Like, you're either against it or you're not. I don't want to hear it. Because I started to realize, like, that's not fair, bro. Like, you can't say that shit to your audience You can if you want, but that's a cop out because it's like, listen, dude, you can't say don't be excited for this. I don't know what the hell Sony's thinking, but I'm getting one. I got a reason. Do you got a reason? You know what I mean? It like undermines the reasoning where it's like, my reason for getting a PS5 Pro is greater than your reasoning because I am on YouTube and I create content. It's like, bro, if somebody wants to get a PS5 Pro because they're excited for it and they like it, that's a perfectly fine and valid reason. That's no more valid than my reason for being on YouTube. And I just thought about this because I swear, man, I've seen like multiple videos of YouTubers almost seemingly like uncomfortable. You know? They're like they're like, yeah, fuck this, man. What Sony's lost their goddamn mind. But I think I don't know. I think I'm gonna get one too. But damn, Sony, what are you doing? And I'm just like, yep, that seems to be and this is why I'm like, Sony's probably just sitting back like, y'all are gonna buy it, aren't you? Yeah, they're gonna buy it. Later, you'll see I was wrong about the PS5 Pro videos. Oh my God. Yeah. Dude, I saw this with The Last of Us 2, by the way, bro. I gotta tell you, like the last time I saw something like this, and because I think you're right. You might be right. Zombie Dragon, I'm sorry, man. I'm gonna read your super chat in just a moment. I just want to say that I remember for the first 6 months that The Last of Us Part 2 was out, dude, it seemed to me like, oh my God, dude, everybody on the planet hates this game. Nobody likes this game. Like, everybody's determined this game is bad. And it was so weird because it took a while. It did take a while, I will say. But like a year and a half later, dude, I was like looking around. I'm like, dude, it's changed. Like, there are still people who still don't like it, but I'm saying in terms of just the overwhelming, like, oh shit, I don't think anybody likes this game. I noticed that like that dissipated and it calmed down over time. And it was much easier to actually start seeing like people are like, oh no, yeah, I like that game. Or I love The Last of Us 2. And that was just so fascinating for me to watch because I was like, something tells me that like, at least 50% of the hate, and I say this as somebody who didn't like The Last of Us Part 2. I say this as somebody who didn't like it. 50% of the hate that we saw for that game was from people who don't fucking play video games and have never really played video games or just do not give a shit about video games, but somehow it blew up so big that it's like, well, we got to get involved now too. And then when it all kind of calmed down, you know, and all of the people who don't, and also people defending the game that also don't play video games, right? Just people who are not really involved in gaming, just kind of getting in because it's like, well, this is the grift, you know, like this is the thing now. And that drove me nuts because, I mean, it's impressive to see that The Last of Us Part 2 could really transcend and reach that level of, wow, you're getting everybody here. But, it was depressing because I'm just like, God damn, man. People, a lot of this shit on the internet, it really is like nobody has any. I don't know if I want to use the word loyalty because that's maybe not the right word to use. But people just really, they will just go with the flow, man. I don't know if loyalty probably isn't the right word. Like conviction, I don't know. Yeah, it's spineless. Like it's just too many people are just like, well, this is what everybody's saying, so I'm gonna say it too. And I hate that shit, you know, because it's like, look, I get it. I think we've all had that happen. Sometimes it happens. It's like, you know, you subscribe to popular opinion, and that's fine. That's fine. But I'm saying it's fine if it happens from time to time. But if something presents itself where it's like, I don't know, man, maybe take a step back and unsubscribe for a little bit, not from my channel, of course, but just from the popular opinion and do a little bit of digging, do a little bit of research, you know, and see if everything adds up the way you think it will, right? Or does. Zombie Dragon, I'm sorry to keep you waiting, buddy. You're saying here, why would I care about Xbox and their good showcase when none of those games have released? I mean, I hear you, man. And that's kind of the conundrum, right? That's the conundrum, because when we talk about, like, would we want to see Ghost of Tsushima 2 revealed tomorrow if we found out it wasn't coming out till 2027? I don't know. I don't know that I would want that, because that feels like a bit too far away for me. I just talked earlier about how that's a long time, dude. I don't know that I would want that. Like, would it be cool in that moment? Like, yeah. But what really changes? You know? What really changes? I mean, yeah, it reminds me of like Wolverine. The announcements are nice. Like, here's where I will say, for me as a YouTuber, this is where I will use the YouTuber card. I'll take anything I can get, right? Like, yeah, dude, I don't care. Sony, you want to show off a 2027 game tomorrow and everybody's hype in the moment and I'm streaming it? Yeah, and everybody's high-fiving? Sure. But removed from YouTube for a moment, what does that really matter? Like, what does that do for me? It reminds me of Wolverine. Like, Wolverine was like a fucking amazing moment and like a super hype announcement. But could you imagine if somebody like kind of poked their head in and was like, by the way, bro, this game ain't coming until 2026? It would have deflated everything, dude. I'd be like, whoa, what the fuck? What? Half a decade from now? Yep. Damn. You know, like, it definitely would have burst the bubble. And that's where I'm like, you know, maybe the way Sony's planning on doing it won't be so bad. Because there's a big difference between, hey, that game you just saw, that's coming in 1.5 years, bro. That's coming in like 12 to 18 months. There's a big difference between, yeah, that shit's coming in like 4 years. Big difference. Cypherpunk, you're saying it's like everyone shits on COD, but then buys it. I don't know why I said that with an accent. Everyone shits on COD and then buys it. Exactly. That's why I don't even try to front with that stuff, man. Where it's like, when I was reviewing it, when I played the beta, I'm like, all right, I'm not digging this. Like, I'm not digging the movement system. I don't know if I just suck at it, but I feel like they made it Modern Warfare. But I also said numerous times, but there's a chance I'll probably still end up buying it. And that's because it's just like, I don't know, man. I have like a soft spot for Call of Duty over the years. I don't play every single one, but I have a soft spot for Call of Duty, and that's why I don't jump on that bandwagon where it's like, fuck Call of Duty, I hate Call of Duty. It's like, dude, I played so much Call of Duty, I would be just a straight up liar. Like, I am a Call of Duty fan through and through, just based off of my credentials of like, how much have you played Call of Duty over the years? Like, a lot. Battlefield 2. But yeah, man, it's like, I think it's just kind of proven, like, well, if you were to ask me, like, why do you think Call of Duty is still so successful after all these years? It's simple. It's just simple, dude. It's a good game. And people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that because it's like, it burst the bubble of like, no, that can't be possible. No, what do you mean? People just like garbage. It's like, no, it's a very competent, well-made shooter, dude. Like, it's just the way it is. I don't know what to tell. It's like when people shit on Fortnite. Like, I don't understand Fortnite. I don't understand why. I don't understand how Fortnite has become the be-all, end-all in this industry. But what I do know about Fortnite, and I don't need to play it. Well, I played a couple games of Fortnite way back when, but I can tell you, Fortnite's gameplay is good. It is a good, well-playing game. The reason I say this is because if good games, bad games, I mean to say, don't rise to the top. Good games get tainted with things that make them less, I don't want to say enjoyable. I guess it could be enjoyable, but they start to feel like they get tainted with things that start to feel like it's too much or it's becoming predatory. That happens. But bad games don't rise to the top. And that's just the fact of the matter. I don't make the rules. That's the way it goes. And so that, I think people just need to keep that in mind. Like, can good things turn bad? Yes. But if something rises to the top, it's because it was good. It is good. And if it rises to the top, it's going to change eventually. And really, it just comes down to the market where it's like when we look at Call of Duty and you look at the skins that they add and people and the battle passes and shit, people are like, bro, this ruined it. It's like, all right, sure, for some players. It's like, no, Call of Duty sucks now. All right. Yeah, I guess. What do you think's going to happen though? Well, let's see what the market has to say. Does the market agree with you or disagree with you? And it turns out the market absolutely disagrees with that. You know? Like the market disagrees. The market says, no, we're totally fine with battle passes. We're totally fine with skins. That's what the market says. And do you know why? It's actually no different than a lot of stuff we're seeing with PlayStation right now. It's because it's all optional. It's not a requirement. If the only thing you care about is I want to buy this video game, I want to play the campaign, and then I want to go in a multiplayer match, and I want to make a loadout, and I want to kill people in TDM. You can do that. Nothing will get in your way of that. Nothing. You might see some weird skin, like weird characters you're shooting up against. You know, you're firing your weapon at. You're like, whoa, what's up with that skin? But it's because it's totally optional, man. And that's I think that's the area that I think all of these video game companies have kind of realized, like, if we just make it optional, if we make it desirable as we can, but also optional, that's the key. So if you want to know why everything is the way it is today in the gaming industry, it's because it's a combination of we want to make it as optional as desirable as possible. We want to create the FOMO, but we want to make it totally optional. Some people consider it exploitative, but I don't know, man. To that, I just say, get some fucking discipline, bro. You know? Like, I'm sorry, but that's the world we live in. Like, you're surrounded, you think in the real world, like, you go out there in the real world, dude, that shit's everywhere. FOMO, come on, you need to partake, bro. You need this in your life. And it sounds it's called, you know, but you got to have some discipline and just realize, like, are you really missing out? Are you though? Like, what are you really missing out on here? And that's not to shame anybody who does it. If you do it and you enjoy it, dude, more power to you. Shadowlink, you're saying the good things don't turn bad. They just get exploited in ways no one wants, and they become angry and disappointed. That's a good way of putting it, yeah. The exploitation. And that's true. They do get exploited. And it is unfortunate, but I would have more respect if that didn't happen. But I guess I've just come to accept that this is how it goes, regardless of how I feel. So I just, you know, I don't know. I look at things, I guess I look at everything through the lens of, here's what's happening externally. How does that make me feel? How do I want to approach this? And that's why I try to recommend to people, like, the word you're looking for is integrity. Yes. Man, if there was more integrity in this world, it'd be a much better place, right? In the gaming, if there was more integrity in the gaming industry, oh man, then we'd be cooking with fire, right? But talking about big business, man, there ain't no such thing as integrity. I mean, if there is, I'm sure there is to certain layers, but you won't get too far in business if you're just focused on integrity. You will be likely unknown. You can find success. I will say, like, if you want to run in a business that's based on integrity, it requires a lot. You got to go above and beyond. You got to do things the hard way. And you also got to accept that you're not going to get the biggest prize. It's a lot. It requires a lot. And that's why, and when you ask yourself, like, well, then, I don't know, man, why do most people choose to do the easier thing or the less. Well, because that's the thing, man. What does integrity mean to you? All it takes for somebody is to decide, I don't fucking care. And then boom. Well, there you go. If you don't care, you don't care. Nobody can make you care. And if there's a bunch of people out there that also decide they don't care either, well, then there you go. I mean, I'm starting to, we're at the thrill. I can't talk. I'm just going to start making sounds now. I'm just going to start saying random shit and making sounds. How's that sound? All right. That's where we are. We're 3 hours into the stream. My brain's melted. My brain's fried. No, but in all seriousness, we're starting to delve. Yeah, I'm losing my mind. We're starting to delve into too much philosophy. I got to reserve that for the members lounge when we do it again. But Silent Poet says, what do you think of Detective Seed's latest tweet? I don't know who that is. Detective Seeds? See who comes up. Apparently he follows me on Twitter. Detective Seeds Platinums? Is that the one? The last tweet I see here is my prediction, state of play will show 2 remasters, Spider-Man DLC, Horizon Lego, maybe Resident Evil 9, and updates on third-party stuff. They could do one more thing, but I doubt. And then he says December 30th anniversary show, probably Tuesday the 3rd or the 10th for kickoff TGA. To kick off TGA, this will have a lot of first party for the next 18 months, and another batch of PS5 Pro drops for holiday purchase. I mean, that would be amazing. That'd be amazing. I would love to see a 30th anniversary show. If Sony did that, I would be like, God damn, you did it. You actually did it. I would be shocked. I would be, because that just, I don't know. Sony surprised everybody. Like, I will say with the hardware they just announced, like the 30th anniversary hardware that they lined up, I don't think anybody thought they were going to go that hard. I didn't. So, maybe they'll take that same approach with a show in December, but expectations, got to keep them in line, Got to keep them in line. Yeah, they even had a 30th anniversary PlayStation Portal. Like, who saw that coming? But you missed 2020 MBG, the hype man. Dude, I know. It just can't be that way right now, Capono. I would love it to. The problem is if I were to be the hype man again, it creates a couple of problems. Number one, the hype that was out there in 2020 was genuine. And that's why it was so easy. Like, it was very genuine. There was no faking or acting or overreacting. It was just, that's what it was. Yeah, same thing with the blue box shit, It's just now it's a little bit like, I don't feel that level of hype for tomorrow. I don't. I am excited to stream it with you guys, and I'm hopeful that I see some stuff that I'm excited to play, but I'm not. I can't sit here and pretend like, let's fucking go. State of play, baby. Like, I feel like it would benefit me to do that to a degree, because I think people, like, they gravitate towards that, but at the same time, I'm also, not only would I be acting it, playing it up a bit, but I'm also painting a target on my back where it's like, who is this guy? Why are you hyping this shit up, bro? There ain't nothing to be hype about. We have Manalis Leladakis says it's Sony's way. They always kick you in the nuts And then boom, mic drop. All right. Well, when did we get kicked in the nuts? Was it the $700 price point of the Pro? Or are you saying that's going to be tomorrow we get kicked in the nuts with a disappointing state of play, but then they got something following up? Or maybe both? Maybe a double nut kick? One for each nut. And then a really amazing 30th anniversary show. That'd be great, man. But we'll see. We'll see what Sony has planned tomorrow. I'll go live before the show starts, by the way, tomorrow. I might go live a good 2 hours before. I don't know, man. Just hang out, shoot the shit, talk. I was going to say get a member train going. We got Unverified Bear coming in. He's saying, bro, we need to get this member train rolling today. Unverified Bear drops 5 membership gifts for you guys. Bringing us up to 8 members on the day. Guys, let's get a member train. Let's get a member train rolling. Now's the time to do it. Unverified Bear's getting you started. We are approaching the end point of the stream. If we get to that 25 mark, man, we will feed the beast. I think the reason why Boss doesn't sleep on his tower anymore, by the way, because I don't know if you guys have noticed, like, Boss hasn't been sleeping on his tower. I had to, like, clean it. Unverified Bear says, I gifted myself. LOL, what the F? Did you? Oh my God, you did. You just broke the system, Unverified Bear. You just broke the system, bro. W's in the chat. Unverified Bear gifted himself somehow. Gavin says it's the first time I've seen that. That's very interesting. Boss, there you are. He's here. Boss, you got to show yourself, bro. If you want more member gifts so we can feed you, you got to come up here. I cleaned his cat tower and I think I disturbed him. I think he's like, nah, that ain't my cat tower now, bro. You got rid of my scent. But it was like starting to stink. Like it's got to get cleaned. Come here, boss. Unverified Bear says, boss, come here. Come on, bro. They want to see you. They want to see the boss. Come on. There we go. The beast is here. All right, boss. Now I need you to look directly into the camera with a sad face. I know, dude, look at him. I'm sorry, bro. He legit went up there thinking there was treats. What don't you get, bro? You can't just stop by when you just want treats. That's not how this works. You gotta be on stream. You gotta show yourself, you know? All right, boss. What can we expect from tomorrow's State of Play? Talk directly into the mic. Will we get a surprise announcement? Will Ghost of Tsushima 2 show up? Will Resident Evil 9 show up? Are we getting anything tomorrow? What about Days Gone Remastered? Are you excited for Days Gone Remastered, boss? Well, his ear twitched. What are you thinking? That almost looked like a, you know? All right, bro. Yeah, I don't know. They're not budging with the member gifts today. I'm sorry. Okay. Wow. He just straight up doesn't like his tower anymore. This is a problem. I don't like what's going on here. Boss, why are you like anti-tower now? Devil Shooter, your cat just climbed on you. William, you're saying MBG people unironically believe Sony would go through the trouble of making a 30th anniversary console, but not a 30th anniversary celebration event. Like, what are people smoking, bro? I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right. Boston, a British accent. Oi, bruv. Looking forward to the great show. And I can't really do a British accent. Like, I just can't. I'm not even going to try. I'll sound so stupid if I try. I don't know. Boss is Asian, by the way. He's Asian. I think his breed is specifically from Thailand. So that was hard. Oh, no, that was, to be clear, that was not me trying to do a British accent. It would have sounded a million times worse. That was me just reading it. Splinter Cell remake at the State of Play? I don't know, man. Saying Sony took some L's last few months. They got to deliver something. Steven's like, he's like, F that tower. I like the stink. Dude, I'm like legitimately concerned because he just doesn't use it anymore. And I'm like, did I actually just ruin it? Am I going to have to actually get a new cat tower? I mean, I don't. Let me see. I don't know. There's still some stink left, bro. I don't know. Is it just not enough for you? It doesn't smell. It doesn't smell amazing, you know? I mean, when we first sprayed it with some stuff, it smelled good. That's gone now. Just move it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Shadowlink, you're saying, MBG, thanks for reading my chats. Here's a gift. No problem. I do try to I try to read people's chats when I can, you know. I don't want people to think that the only way you can communicate is through, you know, super chats or direct donations. That's, you know, but obviously super chats get the priority. But I try, man. I try. It's got to be a balance sometimes. And so thank you, Shadowlink. Shadowlink dropping a member gift, bringing us up to 9. All right. Shadowlink dropped it. Unverified Bear dropped the 5-bomb. Shadowlink drops a single. Remember, guys, you can always drop a single member gift. I'm thinking. So we will be doing some members content. Oh, wait, that's wrong. We will be doing some members content later on in the week. I'm just thinking about what I want it to be, what I want to do. All right, hopefully that. There we go. Put a shirt of mine up there. We'll go back for your scent. Damn. I might try it. I don't know. Just rub some poop on it. Thank you, Steven. I'll do that live on stream right now. Let me just go get one of the turds out of the litter box. My God, man. Now that would be some content. I don't know. I might try the shirt thing. I might. That sounds like it could work. The poop thing, I don't know about that. I do wonder if Luna I don't know, Luna isn't none of the cats are using it now, and I'm getting disturbed because it's like, bro, I got 3 cats and a nice cat tower here, and none of them are even touching it. And it's just like, what are you doing? What are you doing, bro? All right, let's see where we're at. So we're about to approach the 3 hour and 15-minute mark. So the stream definitely went a little bit longer than I'd planned. Well, guys, we're sitting at 9 members. I'll do like a last call here. We'll stream for like another minute or two. It's up to you. If you guys want to make it happen, last minute, get a member train going, get to 25, by all means, consider doing that. If you have any other Anything else you want to say before we wrap up the stream? If you want to drop any more super chats or anything, now would be the time. I wanted to talk more about that Batman talk. I mean, we did talk about it at the beginning of the stream, but as we were talking about it, that's when they... I should get my conclusion tomorrow. Yeah, we'll talk about it tomorrow. We're gonna, like I said, we're gonna be booting up the stream nice and early for the, you know, before the state of play starts, so we could talk about it. Truth is, it's probably gonna be the last event. I mean, TGS is happening, but it's probably gonna be the last event from Sony, possibly until December. And if Sony doesn't do an event in December, then you know we'll have the Game Awards, so there will be that. But saying Warner Bros. Is looking for a buyer. Sony is one of many bidders. That would be interesting. I mean, it would surprise me, truthfully, if that happened. And Steven Leon does it. Steven Leon comes in out of nowhere saying, poop, poop. 20 members. 20 members gifted. Damn, Steven, I hope this doesn't mean I actually have to take your idea now, though. Because that's just going to make me feel awkward. But Steven, bro, thank you so much for that. Steven flexing on you guys. He's like, you know what? I'll do it my damn self. I'm dropping the 20 bomb. We're going beyond 25, and you know what time it is?
Boss, do you read me? It's time to feed the beast.
It's time. Dude, I swear, what happened to you, man? What happened to this cat tower that you're so... He's just so hesitant. We did it. Come on. Come up here. That's right. Is that what you need? You need more snack? Do you need to be, like, spread out? You gotta have the scent of treats. There you go, man. Come on. Come on. I'm starting to think this cat fell on his head or something, dude. Because bro is acting just nearly brain dead anymore. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to embarrass you, but like they're up here. Come on. You know what I think it might be? The more I think about it, I think I think it might be that yeah, I think Luna has messed boss up, man. Luna's here. Come here. Huh? What? Talking to the mic, say thanks. There's no way bro just hissed into the mic. Okay, there you go. Damn. Damn, dude. Did that come through? That should have came through loud and clear right there. Steven, you're saying I have some time for the boss. My cat's threatened me with death. All right, well, he's eating. He's finally eating them. I think it's Luna, man. I'm going to be honest. Like, ever since we got Luna, boss is just pissed off all the time. He just seems so disturbed and unsettled. Like, if you just walk by him, he'll hiss. Like, look, bro, there's no way. What do you do? All right, I got to give him his treats down here. I'm sorry, guys. Here. Luna, where you at? Come here. Luna doesn't do anything to him. Oh, I see I got a super chat from Disco Cobra. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens with these two. Maybe it'll take more time. Boss denied the treats. Nah, when I gave him the treats down here, he ate them. I think he feels like vulnerable or something when he's up there. But yeah, boss is just looking up at Luna right now like disgusting. Dude, he's over there growling. Bro, you guys can share this cat tower. There's more than enough treats to go around. Whatever, man. These boss clearly thinks he's alpha, you know. He's feeling a certain way. Disco Cobra, his arch nemesis. Disco Cobra says, so are we thinking the state of play will be as good as the beginning of the year? 20 games, bet half of them will be indie titles, maybe one or two first-party games. That's what I'm hoping. I mean, I'll be honest with you, Disco Cobra. I don't think it's going to be as good as the January state of play because the January state of play was really, really good. Like, a lot of people walked away from that state of play feeling like, man, that was just like a few games away from feeling like a showcase. You know, like if Sony showed one or two new first party games, that would have been as good as like a really good showcase. So I do think that oh, sorry, we're actually at 31 members. What's up? I don't know. What do you guys think here? Really quick, I guess Mrs. MBG she overheard the conversation. She was saying that she thinks maybe we just need a new cat tower. Maybe boss is too big for this one now. He's too thick. We just need a straight up bigger cat tower. I don't know. What are you guys thinking? Do a new cat tower fund on one of these streams? Is that what we should do? But we're actually at 31 members. Again, Steven, thank you so much for the 20 bomb, bro. That's huge. Really appreciate the support, man. But when it comes to the idea of trying to have a state of play that's as good as the January state of play, I don't want to say it isn't possible. I do think it's possible, but I just think it really comes down to whether or not Sony has one or two surprises. I think that's what it comes down to. I think that if there isn't one or two directly PlayStation focused surprises, I don't think it's going to be able to match that. I think that there will be a lot of games. I think that there will be a lot of games that people are excited for. Like I said, I think that there's going to be maybe even a big third-party announcement like Resident Evil 9, but that January state of play was very good. I would love for it to be just as good. I would love for Sony, because if I'm not mistaken, let me really quick, because you got me thinking. I'm trying to find the blog post for the January state of play. I want to see what they said. Why can't I find it? Why is it so hard to find this blog post? Sorry, guys. I'm sorry for the... I can't seem to find the January blog. I just wanted to read what they said in it so that way I could kind of compare it. Bro wasn't prepared. No, it definitely wasn't. State of play starts in 10 minutes. Join us live. I'm getting annoyed because I legitimately can't find it. I cannot find. Saying we need some hope desperately. I found the one for May. All right, let's read the May blog post. Why can't I find the January? What did they delete it? Stated play is back. Tune in. Oh shit. Okay. All right, my bad. Yeah, so this is what they said. This is what they said in May. Stated play is back. Tune in live for updates on PS5 and PSVR 2 titles. Plus a look at PlayStation Studios games arriving later this year. So I want to put that out there. Oh, I lost my stream. Shit, hold on. I just want to put that out there that in the last State of Play announcement, they explicitly mentioned first party. This time they didn't. So I feel like that maybe not the best, not the greatest sign. Oh, did you get it, Jay Shako? Oh, Jay, I hit your link and it just took me to the latest one announced for September. Let me try one more thing. So everything announced, everything revealed at the January 2024 State of Play. Trailers and new reveals for Death Stranding 2, Stellar Blade, Until Dawn, Silent Hill 2, Rise of the Ronin, and more. My God, I can't find this blog. I just wanted to read what they said. I wanted to read how they hyped it up. Or didn't hype it up. All right, hold on. I might be able to find it. I might be able to find it now. I'm on the PS blog. I'm looking. Oh, I forgot they announced the Final Fantasy State of Play. I found it. No. Yo, hold the. Did they. Guys, I think they actually deleted it. It's not here. That's so weird. State of Play, September 2023 recap. And then it shoots over to January 29th, Final Fantasy VII State of Play. Yo, that's a little weird. They actually removed it. I got to go find my video then. I know I chronicled this, bro. It's somewhere on my channel. I know it is. Let me go check. I'm going to go hunting. So this was January. Tell me I didn't make a video on it. And I just did a stream. Son of a bitch. Now I'm just curious what the hell happened to this blog post. I'll find the stream. Fuck it. We'll do it live. I'll find the stream. It's not that long ago. State of Play January pre-show discussion. State of Play officially announced. I found it. Streamception right here. I'm on my stream from January 29th. Devil Shooter, let me refer to your timestamps here. State of Play discussions. All right, so MBG from January of this year is going to read to you the blog post for the January State of Play. Official PlayStation Twitter account. It's happening Wednesday, January 31st. Let me see. All right, so I'm over on the official PlayStation blog. Join us January 31st for 40 minutes covering 15 plus games, including Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin. Wow. Okay, so this is a big one. Well, there we go. That blog post no longer exists, but they said in the January blog post can be 40 minutes, 15 games. So that's interesting because now they're saying 20 games for 30 minutes. 20 games for 30 minutes. And they explicitly mentioned, they name dropped some games like Stellar Blade and Rise of the Ronin. So I don't know, man. MBG squared. I don't know. I don't know that this necessarily changes much. Let me just check the PS blog from today one more time and just compare it. State of Play back tomorrow. Tune in live for news and updates on more than 20 upcoming games from studios around the world. Maybe I don't want to read too much into it, but I will say it's interesting to me that they say upcoming games. Like they explicitly state that. Upcoming games. It makes me wonder if we're not going to see any already announced, games that, I don't know, like there's maybe this kind of expectation of like we're going to see PS5 Pro enhanced games shown off as in games that have already been out for some time. Maybe we're not. I don't know. I don't want to make the mistake of reading too much into it, but this man likes studying the words of Sony. I must study. What does bro know? But yeah, I don't know. I guess that's where we'll we'll leave it for now. It's so weird that blog is gone though. I don't know why. It's just very strange. The leaks I was sending you, they all said 1 minute trailers. Well, I don't know, man. Maybe there's a chance, a small chance, Sony will surprise everybody tomorrow. But I'll be honest with you, I'm going to be going in with lower expectations, but we'll see. I mean, like I said, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow again as well, and with that, I'm going to be going live earlier than when the show starts. So we'll talk much more about it. Maybe my attitude will change. Maybe something exciting will leak out, between now and then. I guess we'll find out. But I realize I passed the 3.5 hour mark, so I think this is going to be a good spot to wrap this stream up. Shout out to you guys, by the way. You did it. I didn't think we were going to actually hit the 25 goal today. We went beyond it. We hit 31. Thank you guys so much for the support. You're saying change your tude, bro. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm also tired today, man. I don't know what it is. Maybe I'll feel much better tomorrow. Maybe I'll just have more energy tomorrow. We'll see. But appreciate you guys tuning in and hanging out with me today. Big shout out to anybody who dropped some direct support. 31 members gifted, some direct donations, a lot of super chats. Thank you guys so much. I didn't mention it at the beginning of the stream, but I'm sure most of you know by now we're fully fan funded. Any one of you guys that's dropping direct support, just know you guys are the sponsors of the channel. You guys are making this possible. And yeah, thank you for the reminder. Let's close out the poll, see the results before we head out. Hype levels for tomorrow's State of Play, 768 votes, 33% giving it a 3 out of 5. So pretty much in the middle. 33% also saying 2 out of 5. 17% 4 out of 5. Only 15% 5 out of 5. So that's where we are. Maybe I'll put out another poll tomorrow when there's more people here, and we'll see. But yeah, the only other thing I'm going to ask you to do as you're heading out is just hit that like button for me. We're sitting at 382 likes. So guys, like 18 more likes and we hit the 400 mark, which is great. Really helps. And yeah, Devil Shooter, just want to give you a shout out as well, man. Appreciate you doing the timestamps. If you guys see him in the comments with the timestamps, show him some love, give him some thanks. I know he really appreciates it. And yeah, appreciate what you do for the community, man. And that does it. So I'll catch you guys here tomorrow. Again, the stream's going to go up later than normal because the State of Play for me is starting about 6 hours later than I would normally stream. So just keep that in mind. Just be on the lookout for it. And yeah, so enjoy the rest of your day, evening, or night. And I don't know why I had that nagging feeling that I'm forgetting something, but I guess we're good. We're all good here. So, all right, guys, I will catch everybody tomorrow. I hope to see you here. And that does it. So until next time, take care, everyone. Thank you, and take care. Trying to get used to saying that. I'm going to go grab a cat turd and rub it on the tower now. So